can't stop.
I was taught to hustle through the pain. My body and soul, without each what will I gain? So many try to use me when I help pave the way. But man, that's just life, there ain't really much to say. I'm the one, I know I'm the one, everybody follow me. The one they all trying to beat, I know that I gotta be. I've been training hard, I'm ready for any rivalry. I lost it all but kept the fight in me. Now look, I've been laying low but speak on me and I'ma show up. My squad full of bosses, can't let anybody hoe us. Yeah, my life is sweet, I got the whipping doing donuts. Wanna live like me, well here's the contract you ain't know of. I signed up to grind, I signed up to be the best, man. Chin up when I hustle, I can't focus on the next, man. They said that I gotta work, I said, oh yeah, I'm on it. Cause when it's said and done, we gon' see who really want it. Yeah, who really want it? Who really want it? And only focus on cheddar, who really want it? Yeah, who really want it? Who really want it? Yeah, I'm working hard and I show them when out the water I blow them, who really want it?
Who really want it? It's really the question of the day. Y'all talk a lot, but I don't see y'all walk a lot. You know?
Fighter is my name, legendary is my aim. Already legendary, y'all know that we ain't the same. Whether sun or rain, ain't nobody else to blame. The life I live is mine, so I control the change. Tell me that I'll lose, tell me y'all don't see my vision. Tell me that I'm no one and I got some competition. I'ma show you what it looks like when you never listen. Open your eyes and pay attention. I'm on a new level. Hell no, I can't settle. Gonna be the best and I'ma show more than I tell you. I am not impressed because you got a little metal. I'm here to take you down and bring the heat like I'm the devil. I can show you light, yeah, I can show you heaven. I can show you how to win when you think that you're failing. What I tell you, yeah, you gotta work, yeah, you gotta be on it. Cause when it's said and done, we gon' see who really want it. Yeah, who really want it? Who really want it? Yeah, I'm getting better and better and only focus on cheddar. Who really want it? Yeah, who really want it? Who really want it? Yeah, I'm working hard and I show them when out the water I blow them. Who really want it?
space. Hello, Watch Party friends. It's Tenrek and Kek here with North American Challengers Split 3 going into group stage number 2 for today. 16 different teams trying to qualify for 8 playoff spots for the tournament that'll take place next week for one of the most massive prize pools in the North American offseason. Keg, it's so great to be back here with you.
I know, it's been, what, 8, 9,000 years. I've been cryo-frozen this whole time, so I mean, I just got de-thawed. I was happy enough that on the TV, as the ice was coming down from me, I saw you and Ravish hold the line yesterday. But I will say, man, so before we get into things, right, of course, we have a really awesome matchup to go into. We were having a big debate in the green room, and I'm really curious to what your thoughts were about Winthrop's entire success yesterday.
Oh, yeah, whether it was kind of like a fluke or an upset or more of like a favorite performance actually performing.
Yeah.
I mean, truthfully, after watching that Winthrop squad, I think that's everything that people expected out of like the Winthrop when you describe them. Like when you talk about the kind of duelist that Infiltrator is, or like you talk about the kind of chemist, or you talk about the kind of ability to consistently lurk that Moobs has, and like his aim. I think that all really coalesced yesterday in the right way. And I'm excited to see them do it all over again tomorrow. Not tomorrow, next week in the top 8 tournament. Same with TSM. Glad they were able to come out swinging in that lower bracket run and make their spot known after that tough upset to Winthrop. But still, we have our Group B today, which will be YFP Gaming and Maryville University taking each other on in the opening match over on our Knights Arena B stream. So again, if you have the extra monitor, extra RAM, please go check that out. But over here, we have the Pugstack and Fun Havers, recently rebranded, often imitated, never duplicated, against the brand spanking, shiny, clean, and new MXS roster. Very exciting matchup, very exciting rosters that we get to pay attention to here, Keg.
Big reason why I brought up Winthrop before we got into this matchup. You hit 2 very important points. The duelist and the lurking factors.
Yes.
Micro plays and the neon that both teams are rocking here. Very important mainstays for not only this patch, but for the entirety of Challengers. A lot of teams have been rocking neon. I bet you cannot guess why. But that might inflate a lot of these teams' success. Winthrop had been the longest standing structured roster in this entire tournament. Moist can't say the same. They just rebuilt from the ground up. And Fun Havers, frankly, more, besides a freak accident, I suppose you could say, for Fluffy Aimers, they weren't supposed to be here. But now Practo pushes up, right? Seemingly by themselves, Corrupt there with a flash from behind. Both these teams have a game plan in mind, Tenrek, and Spa's to find the opening pick of the series. This Corrupt forced the back away. There's a lot of pressure here on this lurk too. Keep an eye on the communication, Tenrek. These rotates and how well practiced MXS can bounce off of each other is the trust factor that Sean has put into these teams going into this matchup to make it far.
And they'll fully commit to their entry on C site. And the pistol, Paint just gonna full-on bloody enter and full-on bloody commit. Everybody from MXS showing out and able to win that matchup. There's our lurk that we were waiting for. It's Pancakes over from that Fame squad. That's able to make that final impact for the MXS roster, who decided to pick the attack half to start out on this Haven first map that Fun Havers let go after Abyss and Sunset were banned. It'll be Pearl as our second map and Bind as our decider.
Thank you for mentioning that too, because this has been Fun Havers' best map so far in the qualifiers to get to this point to the group stage, right? They've won it 6 out of 7 times, which is great. That tells me there's a game plan in mind. The IGLing's looking good for Fun Havers. They have set strats and they know how to mid-round. MXS, again, they're a team that haven't been around as long. This is not the map you want to test that out on in your first official as this team. But again, it comes down to that trust factor. The set strats and the macro must be in place for Moist to be able to challenge this map and go into Pearl next, frankly. A very similar map that requires a lot of very precise attacking mid-rounding. But as we can see, Owl Drone goes down, a cleared C site. Fun Havers want to retake on C. Moist, they have to have those angles and tradability here to win this next round.
And we'll see what damage they can do. Fun Havers squad, couple of rigorous puggers, gotta say. I mean, some of these players are working on like 2 different teams. Krakow is working 2 different games. He's on the Shmee Shmesh Shmoosh team for University of Virginia. Paint
I went to
in a league of his own. And then I think it's Corrupt, right? Who's on YFPX as well.
Yes. Yeah, GC representation here. Very nice to see from Fun Havers. Again, this is not a round designed for Funhavers to win. I like the idea of attempting to avoid the retake. One body loss from MXS, no big deal. Rifles were already in the hands of Spaz, a player that everyone's been overjoyed to see have the opportunity to join Moist. This is where the fun quite literally really begins.
Yeah.
So full rifles are out now. A lot of Vandals and only one Phantom for Funhavers. That might seem so innocuous, but when you have the likes of Paint, Pancakes, and Spaz all having vision blocking utility, we're not going to see a lot of spam through without tracers. Call's been made from Funhavers to block out B. Usually that's the call to either paranoia, maybe even stun and rush in with that neon. But instead, Funhavers are almost just brazenly swinging this. Okay, maybe it's not so brazen.
Maybe, yeah.
Taking their sweet time
They'll slow down a
swing.
little bit this time around.
That's good though. MXS are working the map and BCJ opens it up with ZK falling. A defensive neon falling first isn't the biggest deal in the world. But now you don't have that aggressive space. That's the reason why you like to bring out Breach on this map. Actually, pretty much all the maps we've seen so far in group stage. You flash, you have the neon, dash and slide. Nobody could counter that.
We'll run in.
Case in
There you go.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paint's been absolutely wild.
Is he gonna go for it again?
Him and BCJ should be this dynamic duo. I mean, BCJ was recently on M80. He's been grinding other games as well. He finally falls. Tim is good for a double, right? But with 2 left alive, Spaz doesn't have a rifle. It's just a sheriff.
I love seeing these blind pickups from into MXS. After that roster kind of was teetering in the last split. I gotta say, Sean, you certainly can't pick him. This is such a fun and exciting makeover of a roster.
It's an odd couple situation too. Like if I in my mind, I would never expect all 5 of these players to play together.
Absolutely not. Yeah, like
right
Pancakes on this roster especially feels so alien, but he is so welcome on this, in my opinion, as the Sentinel pick. I think he's been often, unfortunately, kind of not able to really perform to his strengths as often with the team chemistry that he's gone through in previous splits at Challengers on all of the teams he's been on. He's been everywhere, man. But with Spaz on the controller, Paint leading the charge here, feels so appropriate all of a sudden.
Yeah, man, Funhavers are getting conditioned and playing Retake Simulator round after round. They have that bouncing economy. Their rifle round didn't find a lot of impact. They weren't able to take away the economy from MXS. Instead, though, it's a dash back in, a full util dump. Any which way you look, man. Even then, Pancakes, as you mentioned, the 4K meltdown. BCJ's there to clean it up. Already, if there's a time you want to test the team, a brand new one at that to see how well they can communicate and have those set strats, 4-0 to start off a brand new Moist Shopify roster is a great start, dude.
Yeah, Funhavers playing the role of a welcome mat very well in these first 4 rounds.
Oh no, you can't give them that.
Sorry, guys. But
I mean, that's where we were at though in the green room. Is that like Funhavers are gonna have a lot to stack up against them, right?
Yeah, this is David and Goliath right here for sure. MXS arguably the 1 seed walking into this tournament with, you know, the resume that they're clocking. Despite the fact that they have some of the least airtime out of all 16 teams in this entire tournament.
They've had 0 airtime. This is literally their first official series. They just announced their roster a few days ago. Oh, ZK has the op too. A Neon reapproaching the retake on C with an op of all things is gonna be so tough. If I'm Funhaver here, I'm already considering the save.
Cage triggered.
It's quite possible. Maybe you want to try and lure out an ult here. Try and force BCJ to Rolling Thunder. The spam ball to Spaz is good. They're going to try and clear Spaz so they can at least get 1, and they will. Shoot through the cubes enough. Practo will get the crack, and a Paranoia down to lane. Funhavers are going to go for this. And they'll have some good backing behind it. Rolling Thunder forced away. Lane cleared. Practo. Hunter's Fury good for 2. But Spike isn't held down. And Pancakes is still alive and kicking. Zeke's in the cubby. Pancakes clears that. Blast. Headshot, but not killed. And Funhavers do have enough time, space, and players to get 1 on the board.
Yeah, happily wrong there. Funhavers, great game plan in mind. The best case scenario for Funhavers here, their singular advantage going into this series is going to be them taking advantage of the fact that MXS, again, have not had a lot of time to play together. Set strats are one thing, the micro plays in the post plant or another. Whether it be the positionings or playing off your teammates, right? There was a lot of misplays from MXS in that small amount of time. A great retake, and as you mentioned, a great force out too for the Rolling Thunder, nulled away. MXS are going to keep going back to A site though. Less opportunities to get that proper funneling in space for a retake.
Paint's gonna fully bite the bullet. Practo ready for it here. Steps into it, knowing that that short sight is no doubt coming behind him. Pancakes will re-clear, and Funhavers don't want to take any more risks before the post plant, especially considering that Zeke is miles away. So they'll just play for intel, play for some chip potentially here with these shock darts that Practo's going to let fly as well, since their position in particular is known.
Here.
MXS trying to extend this enough, but with the spike down, they don't necessarily have to. Pancakes is just going to step past the cage! And with the help of the blind, he has a free swing, but Blast can spray through, and Funhavers, very good game sense, expecting these simple plays that normally are good for free kills, but instead, they'll spray it down, they'll expect the swings, and they're locked in for these counter plays. 2 on the board here for Funhavers.
Love the timing of the retake from Funhavers there. Their comfortability finally setting in. They had less bodies on the frontwards end of B for that retake, and Zeki was just waiting for the longest time off that trip being destroyed. Pancakes is obviously aware that there has to be a flank once he hears the util brought out, but it was just the timing of Zeki still waiting for that extra pressure, all eyes focusing on Blast and Tim for that retake. To bring in that Neon ult separated out MXS so much and did not allow tradability. It's a stack up on A now from Funhavers.
Here.
They're gonna go for the paranoia, the recon backlines, do what they can to slow down MXS. They're getting those proper reads at the start here, and that's a great thing for them to have. Just a matter of shutting the lanes down. And any which way MXS goes, there will be some opposition.
Tim flushed out with the aftershock to start. MXS need to take space off of that trade, but they won't decide to take lane. Instead, they'll try to take B door. Unoccupied site. They're going to advance this. They do have the space to do it, but they'll have to use a little util, and Pain is going to decide to press Link a little bit. That was dangerous considering Pancakes is still in sewer, but is able to find Corrupt on the back out. And nobody from Funhavers can approach this. They really tried to poke at it too. I think they kept their distance the right way, but MXS just barely able to extend in.
Yeah, and that lurk up the neural theft gives full information now for MXS to know it's a two-way retake crunch. Shock darts available. Already expelled from Funhaver's side. They're on spike. The smokes are in the way, but you can spray through.
They've been doing that the whole time. Blast gonna try and enter. Zek holding down with the op of all things. This is a big fight slowdown, and yeah, one miss and your entire team's gonna get cleared. MXS will have no trouble dealing with the rest of this. Practo can only play for kills, and they will only get one. So, back on the board for MXS here, Funhavers. B-site, it's such a tough funnel to retake, especially with the operator, so good shot calling from MXS to change course.
Yeah, having B space to retake is certainly no easy feat. You put down one smoke, you could spray right through it. MXS had the right idea of playing together in small funnel of B. Of course, covering the flanks too has only been something that Zeke has done. And when you have your frontlining Neon waiting on B round after round, you don't really have to worry about flank as much. But I like this additional pressure that MXS is bringing out in the first few seconds of a round. They wait for that utility dump, get some inkling of an idea where Funhavers want to begin to reapproach space. And they haven't found much yet. No recon. Spotted at least from Practo right away. It's already been dissipated. It's a default instead from Moist. The Paint's picked up this op, and that's going to slow down the Neon quite a bit. The space created off of Paint up until now hasn't been the biggest value in the world, so I do like this change of pace. It's almost making Funhavers be the ones to take the aggression.
Yeah. And they did, but just for a moment, to kind of just play that out.
They forced a rotate to C.
Yeah, cut to the chase. Give us the next play. We're tired of this one. again, well taken by Funhavers without any collateral lost. They are very disciplined this game so far. MXS still have the firepower, though. They still have...
towards C.
Yeah, they have everything under the sun here, and they will force the swing back from Funhavers. They will force the uncertainty. And with a util dump from both initiators on C lane, either you wait yourself, or you'll lose that collateral. Practo is going to stick it, and does find Pancakes kind of overstepping. But it's because Paint is now the one holding onto this operator. And Tim, perfect jump peek. Everything's going to explode. And Funhavers, they have more players on. Spaz has to prio the TP, but he gets to hell and can open up at least one. But Brock is gone, and there's no time on the clock. MXS, they have to commit to the plan. The fast lane to try to cover fire. But Corrupt can stall and get some bloody good headshots in. In the meantime, Funhavers stall, get the thrifty, get the timeout, get everything they need that round.
You gotta give major props to Funhavers there. They did not fall for the fake rotate whatsoever.
Perfect.
I know, and you would expect, right? We are the all-seeing omniscient eye. The smokes had gone down directly on Garage. There was the stun brought out towards C. A lot of very valuable utility that wasn't there for A-Site to sell this fake. And that's something for Funhavers was like, no, we can't overcommit. We always need to have some sort of presence. We had that lockdown on A. Cypher can stay on C all the time, but someone's always got to stay on the other side, and that itself won the round for Funhavers. They are able to full buy yet again. Their economy is still in a very bad spot. They can't lose this next round.
They found my wire?
A recall again.
Yeah.
This is a good test to see what the IGLing looks like for a team like Moist. You have 3 sites to work with, a lot of rotate values. Defense teams have to spread themselves thin. That's why they've given up C site. Owl Drone, though, gives a massive tell. Someone's got to stay near C, though. Spaz has from the shadows. He can go anywhere on the map. It's a good thing no one did move. MXS are reorienting towards B main. There's no tripwire. Just a singular cam that hasn't been spotted.
Start to try to crunch Garage. Taking quite some time here, but Blast will get cleared. Able to step into B, but don't seem to be entirely confident in this pathing, so they'll reorient back to main and make sure that A-Link is cleared, which
30 seconds
it is. Zeke and Practo keeping their distance until the Rolling Thunder comes through on the plant hold. Now it's counteracted by a Rolling Thunder from BCJ as well. But yeah, they don't get much of anything. Funhavers can just enter in. Brock, the only one to get one. Paint, the only one with a rifle. Funhavers make it work again.
Funhavers haven't had to change their strategy.
Yeah.
They forced out BCJ's Rolling Thunder and it missed. I mean, happenstance, luckiness, I suppose, for Funhavers. Corrupt had such a great ult, brought out to stall the team, the pressure from the Neon right after, selling information. That is an ult BCJ should not have lost, and that's going to hurt a lot. If I'm MXS, I'm considering a timeout, and there it is.
Yeah.
Again, this is their first series official. And while they have the set strats down, again, they're going to falter in these small micro plays. Bringing out the ult like that, not finding the timing, not focusing on the priority of the Neon, entering sight in the retake already. These are small things that Funhavers can and will capitalize on.
I gotta say that pre-rounding from MXS, or that pre-planting, was really well done. They were already forcing Blast and Tim to cycle. Tim's smoke was stuck in Garage perpetually that entire round until they actually decided to press B in Garage. And yet, I mean, obviously the gun diff plays a gigantic role in that post plant, but yeah, it really does come down to if BCJ hits that ult or not, honestly.
Yeah, and again, with a lack of info, you send the ult out on C Link, you don't know what's on the A Link side.
Yeah.
That was a panic.
Especially when you were already taking so much caution around A Link in the first place,
It was
too.
a panic post plant. You're just trying to secure the round and keep this tie up ahead. I don't even think this timeout is for strategic purposes. It's just making sure MXS can keep their bearings together for a bit more. Okay. Default out now, a great change of pace. And again, I'm not worried about the macro for Moist whatsoever. They have a good game plan in mind round after round. It's just how you play off of each other is, again, Funhaber's win condition throughout this entire series. A good example of this is really going to be how TSM played against Winthrop yesterday.
Okay.
They looked so shaky in that first series. But by the end of yesterday against Ambrosia, they looked great, and Brock gets the opening pick. That's huge. Blast falls next. A spike plant goes down yet again. Keep Funhabers on their toes. Funnel them into one position and work to your strength, the gunplay. But even that's not working, Tenrek. It's a 2v2. Spike has not gone down.
Tim with that TP back to the podium forced all 3 reps of Brock's Hunter's Fury, and so they couldn't pressure C-Link early on into that pre-plant, so they had to stick some people in front of it, and they could not win the peaks yet again. Like you said, Spike now stranded, and Spaz back in the same spot he's had to be holding this entire game whenever he's on the C post plant. No way Funhavers don't know where this guy is without the smoke, and so MXS forced to stall back. 30 seconds on the clock. We are back here, and Practo is not present at the moment, so Zeke does have to hold this. But the fast lane, the oh, Spaz, okay.
Did that buy
good
time?
Switch up, and we'll duck back into Link. They should be good from here. Brock has a recon as well to stall back. Spaz can TP fake. Practo does have a lot of util here, though. Could take the fight early. That's what they'll do.
Yeah, I mean, you want to push this. At least take a fight. Time is not on your side, and you have no information. That recon, the owl drone available, and Practo uses nothing. That recon won't find a whole lot.
There's just too much.
Great round. It was a scary one for a second there, but MXS, they got their bearings together, and they played together as a group in the post plant. I mean, realistically there, Zeke could have tried to buy more time, but the push-up from MXS had too much pressure against the Neon.
Yeah.
MXS is good for the half now. At the very least, it needs to be tied up by Funhavers. I am worried about Funhavers when it comes to their own attack. Same exact reasons why for Shopify. What is the IGLing going to look like? How well together are the set strats going to be?
Right.
MXS, they played a very nice early round, right? But now, if they feel pressured to execute and get that spike down to play post plants, it puts more of the onus on Funhavers.
It's true. They'll be able to isolate when they can spring the trap far more often.
I like the lurk, though.
The clock will be on their side a lot more, too. This is, yeah, Pancakes has been clocking in on this pretty often and cashing out just about as much. Until dip into the well again. Almost find promise at first. Practo, oh, get out of there, buddy. Okay, fault line to back him out. But Pancakes, he sees that as a moment that he can pressure the offense and sell the 5-stack. Just kidding, they're here now.
Great call here to double down from Funhaver's side. Deny the entry right away if they can.
Yeah, let's hold it down. They questioned it for a second, but they're gonna just hold him the back. Wait for this youth to come through. Pancakes the dry swing. Can't find Corrupt, but Zeke is in town. And that means that Paint can't fully swing until the other Neon's taken care of. Zeke hears the overdrive and decides to step back. Wait for that to time out. Wait for MXS to get the spike down, and it'll be a 3v3 post plant.
Anti-lurk set up 2 from Blast, expecting someone from B main that will never come. Paint has overdrive, waiting for the swing, but it runs out.
Give it 3v2 for an instant here till they sell the sewer. Blast is gonna ult. Just go for it. Have certainty on this last member in Spaz. Smoke dancing pretty well.
One enemy remaining.
Okay, we're good. Never count that man out, but they have enough to work with. Funhavers make it 5-6.
Spike the Q.
Yeah, Moist right now are just not committing to working the map. I like the lurk early on from Pancakes, but not being able to take down Practo and still calling for the rotate.
Yeah, to pile drive on that was a little confusing to me.
I get the idea. You're hoping to out-rotate Funhavers, right? You've been able to consistently win A up until now. But Funhavers are going to double down here. They have the right read. And they're going to go for the Paranoia stun setup to promote Zeke to just slide dash through A long.
Right.
And delete whoever they can get into A lobby.
Oh, Zeke is going to get up close and personal this time. They hear him. Oh, are they ready for it, though? Paint the swing! The slide! Even the Neons aren't ready for the Neons, bro. Tim, early swing from Sewer as well. Funhavers really getting up there with this one. They were ready for the stack, and they were ready to fight it closer than MXS wanted to, as it appears.
Shock dart.
But it
Out of charge.
doesn't look too
I know
positive.
exactly.
Yeah, Brock's still now holding it down, and MXS have all the positional power in the world. Too much uncertainty, and Practo can't check the boxes. MXS, all of a sudden, it's a 4v1.
It's a mad dash around the world. This will be the greatest clutch of all time if Blast can pull it off.
Caught one.
Funhaver's big weakness here is going to be the mechanical in a vacuum against Moist. A lot of these players have been to the major stages. It's going to be hard to out-aim them straight up. The rotates and just the overall game reads the Funhavers have had to get the drop on Moist to really catch them by surprise has given them 5 rounds.
Cage triggered.
It looks like 7-5's the way to go, and swapping to the attack. It's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows for Funhavers on the attacking side. 7-5 is super healthy for Moist.
Absolutely.
Careful.
Like you said, a lot of uncertainty around how Funhaver's attack is going to go, how they'll be able to contain themselves
Switching sides.
as the spike continues to go. And MXS, I mean, nobody's questioned their retake game, which is what they'll probably lean back on more than anything else. Util dumping with this BCJ paint combo.
Nice spot.
And Pancakes is going to be anchoring for a long time, so Funhavers, they'll have to do a lot of clearing anyway.
Yeah, but I feel like MXS are not going to allow map space to be gained by Funhavers. You know what I mean? And, like, this is just going to be paint.
They'll just go full
Waddling.
denial mode, you think?
Yeah, he's just going to slide
okay.
and shoot, man. He's
All
just
right.
going to go for whatever.
Let's see
look
it.
Look at the position for BCJ. He's going to stun a lobby and have that B hold right away. And that's just going to allow so much maximizing util for paint. The entirety of Moist's defense is going to be setting up this Neon to do pre-nerf Neon
Yeah.
things. I can't wait for that patch, man.
Yeah, which on that note, this tournament is in 5.09, in case you guys have not figured that out yet. So for all like the where's the Phoenix questions that whoever might be asking.
Where are my regen shields?
Yeah, where's my regen shield buy? Where's my raid boss? Just give it a little bit longer, buddy. It's okay.
I like this lockdown on C site, though. Having that aggressive potential in A, not spawning a whole lot. Pancake's ready to play off his tripwire.
Down.
That tradability's got to be huge here. But they back away.
Yeah, that one smoke is enough. Practo speed
restraint.
spotted! Practo speed spotted!
No, but they already knew. The restraint here not to double down and push C is so disciplined from Funhavers. I wasn't expecting this. BCJ setting up for the anti-stun on the B rush off of any audio. Funhavers are gonna try to fake any sort of presence towards A, and it's not gonna fake the rotate.
Close enough at all. Yeah, there's no way they're gonna dip into this.
Oh, but there's only one body now on C. Spawn's already left. That's an opened up C site.
Good
Spawn's is late
read.
for the retrade. And they're gonna back out again?
What?
Wow.
Whoa! Whoa!
Wait,
okay.
oh my God, wait.
This is cooking. Wait. This smoke out of B-Link.
Looking better than Moist right now.
Oh, paint's in though. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. MXS can just swing it anyway. They're so close to it. Good kills from Funhavers, but yeah, there's no time on the clock at this point. Dude, what a fun pistol round from Funhavers for sure. That was that was a cavalcade of great ideas, but unfortunately, B side is like 5 feet away from C side, so that plan is really tight. It's
Yeah.
really tough to execute that. But I love the idea on paper, and if you can kill paint on that swing in, if there was like a patch that maybe made it so your aim wasn't as like not corrected if you slid in his neon, then that plan would have been amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw when Moist were on the attack trying to sell that same A fake and it didn't work, but the discipline we're seeing from Funhavers now, if they can continue to have the same exact workings in the early to mid rounds, this is gonna be a tied game, man. Okay, good trade. No more smokes for Moist. I think I was wrong about Funhavers, dude. Because the way again, the discipline's been crazy. What's been happening with Moist is that once they started getting rounds snowballed against them, they would panic rush into an execute. I'm praying to whatever deities in the sky that Funhavers don't fall into that trap.
Cage triggered.
Corrupt is gonna just stick it.
Okay, 3 stack from Moist. ZK's waiting, 9 HP. He's just an info drone at that point. Paint again. All eyes need to be on him and is working with BCJ this half. And if you're FunHavers, you're just looking to grind up ults here.
Last player standing.
Yeah, I'll just... Oh. Okay. Yeah, everybody getting their share this time around. But like you said, continuing to surprise and offshoot and not, you know, spread thin. This is a team.
Gotta go.
Mad synergy.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that most people expected this team to kind of walk in as the 16 seed. I don't think I'm like super wrong. It's like like there were players that were saying that they don't expect FunHavers to show out in this group, which like understandable. It's there's Moistek, Shopify, and YFP in it. But
well, remember this. This is FunHavers' map pick. They were practicing for Haven.
That's a good point.
But again, this is the map you want to test out your in-game leading and how the mid-rounds operate on your attacking side.
Yeah.
And if FunHavers, they looked good on their defense doing it, if they don't crumble their mid-rounding, say 4 rounds in, this could be a very healthy map for them, regardless if they win or lose. Smoke is out now. Respect. A lot of it given now by Fun. They're not going to push it. And MXS are just waiting for the opportunity for them to refake back around to A in the late game. Owl drone. Hidden away. Fracto does not clear spots. They think it's only Paint in A long.
Here.
Paranoia setup is out. But I think that's just an escape option.
Yeah.
No follow-up, really.
Doesn't need to. I think just force FunHavers to go for something disadvantageous again. Oh, but Blast is able to find Paint. Paint got greedy.
He did. Paint's gonna be greedy the entirety of this defense.
Yeah.
His pacing's so much more different from ZK.
You can just keep
Much
punishing
less
him, it'll be
safe.
fine.
30
Yeah, I mean,
seconds left.
if you keep making Paint think he can do whatever he wants and then
But
punishing
Paint
him.
wants ult. He has to play greedy.
Yeah. Oh, gun spotted. BCJ, no trouble there. Good gap on the smoke to continue pressuring. That gives time for Brock to show up. But again, Tim is locked in here. 13 seconds though. Yeah, everyone's here. This is cooked. Unfortunate.
Yeah, it's gonna be the mechanical diff that helps carry MXS to victory here. 3 more rounds needed to bring things to map 2. Pearl between these two teams is gonna be an adventure and a half. Because you can absolutely fast exec on Pearl, especially B-site. But the countering there and the stall that you need is a very different ball game than Haven.
Yeah.
And so stretching MXS thin is definitely one thing you can do on this defense, and that's where Paint needs to come in. He's gonna be on top of everything, the apex predator of this lobby. Anywhere you go, he's gonna sink his teeth into that lane. And so any sort of starting info Moist can find is gonna be a golden opportunity. Paint's already on the hunt.
See if he tries to circle this, but FunHavers are already in. Zeke spotting Pancakes. Pancake's still very much alive. Oh boy, that's really rough, dude. Pancakes, you're insane. Pancakes, you're insane, dude. And rest of the team is here, but everyone else from FunHavers is still able to deal some decent damage. Practo, only one left, has a rifle versus Spaz and Brock. Oh, Brock chases him down though.
Oh, timeout should be called here from FunHavers.
This is again like this is some great experimentation from FunHavers, and like you said, we're seeing them just like veer from site to site. The trouble is with Pearl is that when FunHavers go for this again, this experimentation, they'll just like shuffle strat after strat after strat in front of a fight. Is that they're a lot weaker when they're doing that on the same site, and on Pearl, you're gonna have to be far more committal.
Well,
you can't just swap it up.
I think the correction that FunHavers need to make here is going to be the same thing they're going to run into attacking on Pearl. They need to work the map more.
Yeah,
we saw...
You need to work mid so hard in map 2. You need to work mid so hard.
But guess who's playing really out of position because they're Neon? That's Paint.
Yeah.
If we can see FunHavers remove Paint, even like 45 seconds at the latest into a round, and then exec off of that, Funhavers can absolutely tie this up. But as long as Paint has a presence in the server being that active, that's going to be a constant, just like, I don't even know what the comparison would be. That's going to be a consistent migraine for Funhavers to deal with.
Right here. Right here. Right here.
So
Yeah,
I'm really curious to see what happens here, dude.
Yeah, when you have a player on your team who knows how to handle Neon so aggressively, it will become the forefront of every player's mentality in this patch.
I'm out of here. We're good.
The B
Zeke.
rush.
Yeah. Let's see what he can find here.
B split into C.
Yeah.
Oh, are they
They're
gonna
going for
double down
garage
to C?
control. I think they're gonna jump in a window here and try and crunch it, but Paint's already here. Yeah, relay bolt. He's able to just clear that back. Prakto doesn't have a good angle. Paint's just better. Paint's so much better. Tim's able to hold outside of the smoke though, and they'll re-entry to B site with a little bit of space, but A-Link is still not re-cleared. They'll have to waste a little bit of util, and Tim's been found on the recon. Has to use that TP as well. Spaz now knows where both of these remaining players are, and the Rolling Thunder catches everyone on MXS but him. So it will come down to Spaz for the rest, but Tim can take down the Ditto. Corrupt still alive. Pancakes takes care of that. Tim almost full health against 2 remaining MXS players on the entry. Tim, beautiful first shot, but Brock can shoot right back through that smoke. And not enough movement between kills means MXS gets away with their 12th round.
It is
Pressure
over.
point again. Paint. Unbelievable control of Garage. A 3K to eliminate the entire core of the post plan. Funhavers had no response once they were challenged in C-Link. The entire idea was to split from B site, fake its presence there, migrate to C, and then play the post plan very far up. Can't do that when you have a stack of MXS on site. Didn't work the map enough. Didn't have that information about how MXS wanted to start off that last round. A lockdown in A again. Moist believed that this should be a pivot to A side at the beginning of the round, if not later. Because you have 3 set up now on C and Garage, you're fully expecting to have a big rush here off of Paint. A great read again from Moist. I just pray that Funhavers don't play this too fast, and they are!
Blast, just walking right up after that first kill onto Spaz. Doesn't expect the double up. But Zeke is already very far up into Ling, so they're going to try and make this distance work with a B plant. No, it'll be a snake to A. They just keep thinking of new stuff, but this one might be far too open. Pancakes has the world at his fingertips, and 12 HP left. We'll double back into B site. Still a minute on the clock here. I mean, Funhavers, they don't have a problem with time, I will say that much, but they super got a problem with fighting at this point. They're almost just running from these MXS players. They look terrified. Out of context, in context, you really do see the vision, but I see a 5-13 on the scoreboard unless Tim clutches up in this 1v3. Everybody swarming Spike. First entry from BCJ is all
Defenders
Moist
win.
X Shopify needs. Map 1, go to the favorites.
Again, this was Funhavers' map pick. They were expecting to have maybe a little bit more opposition when it came to their first half, but unfortunately, again, the mid-round, it crumbles when you have a team that you need to be able to outstrat. And with the prestige that Moist Shopify have gained through their players over the years, now coming together with many different ideas, I'm sure right now, soon to form together as a gigantic stack, it's a very tough ordeal for a team like Funhavers to stack up against them.
Yeah, we'll see how they continue to gel. Only better with time, we can assume. But on Pearl, it'll be tough to watch that in action if MXS light up. We'll see if they do in Map 2 after this.
face.
The war wages on. It was a hard-fought battle for Funhavers in map number 1. It was their map pick up against Moist Shopify. I will say, Tenrek, I was very impressed with how well Funhavers on their defense took advantage of the fact that Shopify haven't quite found that perfect synergy yet. But my big fear is that going into Pearl, not only are you going away from your own map pick that you lost, but all that rust is probably shaken off now by Moist.
It's quite possible. Yeah, I think that, yeah, MXS's chemistry was displayed a lot more in their defensive half as well, because again, they got to kind of just collapse all of their taking space into one moment, with a lot of their util burning and swinging, and they just got to aim diff a lot of the time because they're MXS players. But going into Pearl, they will be, Funhavers will be starting out on the attacking side, so it'll be them who are trying to shake off the rust nice and early in this map too. I would not count out these 5 players if I could try to, truthfully.
For Funhavers, you mean, right?
Yeah, for Funhavers.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I could never say that I don't expect greatness from them. I think these are 5 players that are able to lock in at a moment's notice. I'm wondering when that moment is going to be. I hope it is I hope the moment is right now. I hope the moment is now.
Yeah, my big fear is that, again, we're looking at the big picture, and Funhavers, they knew what they wanted to do going into a round, but as soon as they met opposition on their attacking side, it crumbled. And that's going to be a major fundamental issue going to a map like Pearl. Functionally speaking, you do have one less spike site, yes, but a lot of the time, you see attacking and defending teams play pretty similarly between this map and Haven. MXS, goal right now, find info early, hold corners, hide angles, you're pretty much good to go. Deadlock, brought out by BCJ, excuse me, I just had surgery, being brought out here. A good smoke early on cuts off B. Work the map more, I say, for Funhavers. That was the big issue on Haven. And look, they're already changing it up.
Spike
Erupts
down mid.
is quite far in there. Hey, wait, that's the spike.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Hey, wait a second.
Huh. Spike's just chilling there because he's a fun little guy.
Well, yeah, BCJ on that deadlock, definitely a fun addition to the comps that a lot of teams have been going for. She's really been making quite the impact with these walls and these aggressive ultimates. And I love seeing BCJ pick her up yet again. Should also be said, YFP did take down Maryville on the B stream in that first map. I think it was 13-3 to start things out, so they're looking good.
Yeah, 13-3 doesn't surprise me a lot, to be honest. And BCJ is going to be the #1 player to look at, I think, into this matchup. Normally, I would say Paint on Yoru would be, but the fact that this deadlock is brought out purely to be anti-Zeke Neon is going to be hell in itself for Funhavers. Not only do you have to worry about like the sonic sensors and that just being anti-slide, right? That wall and the malleability that you can just place it wherever you want and you're not really locked into it like a Cypher or a KJ means that Funhavers will have to force out utility from Moist literally every attacking round.
Yeah, they'll have to try to ISO each agent to force that utility out faster and harder.
Yeah, good luck with that on Pearl.
Yeah, when everyone can just be so packed in with such security. I mean, you're seeing the 3-stack here on A to meet whatever aggression is there, and B site, I mean, they've barely even touched this, and that just means that Paint feels safe enough to just walk right up with this Marshall, meaning that this fake is going to get read so much earlier, and MXS is going to be able to meet this pretty early on. Recon Bolt is let go of. That'll find Paint. TP is ready, and he has not left the build. Okay, there he goes.
Yeah, you don't want to
definitely question it, but yeah, there's so much. Yeah, you have such a valuable thing in your hands. You really can't let it go. They will take that smoke.
Oh, it's only a Marshall. My mistake.
Yeah, it's a Marshall.
Icon was an outlaw.
I'll walk
now
up
you have the
here.
stall factor.
Everyone's here again, though. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to burn a little bit. Gravnet does not catch Zeke, but the short sight and the blind simultaneously do. And now the whole team is here, except for Spaz, who doesn't need to be because he's playing Astra. So it's a spray war through a smoke. Funhavers, unfortunately, forced to be headless chickens without any sight lines. And MXS very cleanly take round 2.
Yeah, the active stall from MXS is, again, just perfect anti-neon. That's going to make Funhavers almost entirely focus on taking mid control. I just can't really see a reality on this attack where rushing B main is going to be an easy trip at any point in this half.
There.
But interestingly, right, neither site is MXS forcing up to get orb control. They're actively giving it to Funhavers. They do have ults that would be good for retakes, but the goal here from MXS is to make sure Funhavers just never get on site. So this active push up here, fading out one, a smoke in the corner, Paint's the only one spotted. They're hoping this Omen can just remain hidden, to spray down the entirety of Funhavers when they approach up.
Well, they still check Pancakes, but Blast not fast enough and also half health. Now Pancake's the one to TP away safely while Paint will cover fire with that operator, and the B site 2v2 goes entirely Moist X Shopify's way. Funhavers are going to start to try and poke mid a little bit to get into art here. BCJ once again entirely cutting off Plaza entry with this wall, leading Funhavers to where MXS are also spiraling to, orbiting this A site that has so much util already placed on it and more incoming.
Keep an eye on Spaza's position. That could remove Spike. ISO'd out.
Fast lane to entry, take over half the site. Early util has to get flushed out by Brock. He'll be the linchpin and probably the body thrown at things once Funhavers get in, but I don't think Funhavers is going to get in. Corrupt Zeke, yeah, they both want to hold on to these rifles, I think. They'll just let the time go.
Yeah, really happy that we saw Funhavers get site control. I thought for sure we'd see Corrupt unfortunately fall to the hands of Spaz, but with no information available, Spaz had no idea about Corrupt's position. Forced back to A site to take what they assumed was all three players on stairs. But same outcome regardless though. Active stall, going to be very important. I would not be surprised, Henry, if we see within the first 5 rounds a timeout from Funhavers here. They are struggling to find a way to get past these chokes.
It has been, yeah, pretty cut and dry so far for Moist X Shopify. Funhavers have been completely denied. And everybody essentially playing an equal role to that. Brock has been the one to kind of be willing to sacrifice himself, but I mean, he hasn't really had to yet. Everyone has already been there. Everyone's already playing everybody's already at the right, site. Funhavers are just, there's so much space they have to cross, and again, with Plaza consistently so denied by BCJ, mid presence is hard to, springboard off of.
Yeah. And this round is a VOD reviewer's dream come true. There's so many active parts on every facet of this map defensively that Funhavers, without the info we have to somehow pick it apart and find the weakness. Closest thing to it is going to be Art. Tim unfortunately does fall. That means now, even though one rifle is available for Zeke, this will have to be frontwards facing. A very sacrificial round with no post-plant smokes.
It can open up CT, but again, you can't really extend from it. And so Corrupt is going to try and snake over to Plaza and wait out this wall. Spaz old guard will take down Zeke. And as things fade away, once again, Funhavers just look stuck.
Yeah. And I thought for sure Haven would be the map where we could see where the difference maker would be in terms of just like leading the team and the mid-round calls, but
left.
You go to a map like Pearl, it's really not that different in terms of IGLing. You really gotta have a good game plan and a good sense of what the utility's gonna look like and how to counter it. Spike does go down though.
Planted.
Good for Funhavers to have a little bit more money in the pocket, but unfortunately not long for this world. Blast, no control whatsoever. A Sheriff in a 1v4 against an op no less. Gets one successful shot in. 4 now for MXS.
Recovering it.
And I have to re-emphasize this. We need to see a timeout from Funhavers here.
Good try, idiots.
Going into what, unfortunately, I think is just what needs to be accepted, which is that you just need to bum rush A side a little bit more. If you're Funhavers.
You can't though. That's the moving parts I was talking about. Because if you
what, with the double
rush
controller?
Yeah, you have the sonic sensors. You have normally what teams will do is have a 2 per defender active push A main for orb control, and then you have the Astra util to worry about on top of it. You can't push A. You have to work mid.
Well, My issue there is, I mean, if you're able to find intel early, the BCJ is there. Which I mean, he's putting sensors
there's a
up.
lot of issues right now in this
Well,
attack.
I mean, he's putting sensors up pretty early. So I'm thinking that like MXS know that Funhaver's strong side is going to be A, so they're already stacking there. I think if Funhavers can grab early intel, which you can with Corrupt's knife, if you can grab early intel, actually you've knife and recon. So if you can grab early intel on what the stack is, then you can rush it. If BCJ isn't there, I think you have a safe rush. I mean, as safe as you can get, right?
Here's the problem, though, right? Off of this timeout, Corrupt has no command, right? That's going to shut down all that mid-side utility. In theory, this Astra, the Deadlock...
When do you even use it, dude?
They're going to use it mid immediately, but they're going to try to bypass the Deadlock util, and I would say split to B, but they're focused A into this round. And so the call's been made by MXS, like, yeah, let's put everything down B. This is where we expect them to go. Astra and I are going to go sit as far away from that KO radius as we can, so our util always stays up. But that's not the case, actually. Instead, it will be the safe fight.
MXS will actually play for the orb angle, at least at first. Very aggressive peeking on both ends. But it'll just be a little bit formal.
Paint had op last round, pushed up B long, and was never, oh no, was contested by Tim. Yet he's able to get away with it for free again. This Astra knows. But if you rotate into that Yoru, you have to suppress him. And that's going to be a big dedication to that utility that we already mentioned. Needs to be used to clear out the utility to get the site. And your flashes aren't going with you to contest this Yoru.
Yeah, we need a flash here.
Oh no. Oh no. I mean, maybe.
They have to know paint is there.
Yeah. Are they waiting out maybe the TP? I mean, that's
okay.
big brain.
Well, yeah, they're not going to hear that, but I mean, he's back.
Stacking up A. This is exactly what Moist wants.
Okay, there it is. There's the null command. So they'll go for this entry off of Art, and they know that the weaker stack is here. Yeah, they're able to just cancel out BCJ, but BCJ doesn't need his util. He can just stand there and take them all down. He's not done. Shatter, we cooked.
I mean, oh my days. What we're seeing now from Moist. Because they are just actively following Funhavers. Any piece of utility Fun is going to bring out anywhere on this map is pretty indicative of where the execute needs to be. You don't really have a roaming stack up here for the attack outside of Tim's Astra. But because the Yoru exists now, pushed so deep behind enemy lines practically with that op, Tim doesn't want to take that fight, so he can't lurk. You're forced to take mid and A control now.
You have to.
Need that back.
Yeah, they're doing it. Yeah, I mean, they have to poke this again against a one-way, against what they probably think is a sonic sensor still held here.
I mean, at this point, the ult cycling is looking good for Funhavers. They're getting orb control for A. They have lockdown, Cosmic Divide, ZK's overdrive within seconds, right?
They have pressure every round from here on out this half. They will have something to offer to MXS every round. I mean, it really does come down to, is MXS like that?
But you gotta force these chokes, and that's where Funhavers have been losing every round. They can wait out this deadlock wall, but then the problem after that's gonna be the call for the Astra util. You have to pray that MXS are gonna mistime that it was Astra util to get past that choke. Prowler's out and finds nothing. Good information now, MXS. They're letting go of their guard in mid. Could be the chance to hit B.
30
seconds left on the clock. Yeah, everyone from MXS are backing up to give site
30
control.
seconds left.
They know util needs to be forced beyond these smokes to get onto site.
God, this ladder of smokes is insane. Pancakes cancel out Paranoia. They can freely enter from Plaza. Swing back in. Zeke is caught. And that is the spike. They'll have to reset. Very minimal time. Smokes will be able to field them out. BCJ going for the deadlock ultimate. Spike will still go down. And in fact, the Cosmic Divide up as well to pile on top. BCJ got greedy and has now stepped too far in. Rock tries to find Practo. Can't spot them in time. And so MXS have to go the slow way. 3v4. This is where Funhavers can really shine. Waiting out the divide for the true push on both sides to crunch Tim first. But Tim can't be crunched. He'll find Spaz. Now it's up to Rakto to hold the next angle, and he can too. Funhavers hold it down. Take every second with kindness. And are able to get around on the board.
Love the counterplay from Funhavers, man. They waited out the deadlock util. They've recognized that these mid, I don't know what the word is for inner extremities, the inextremies, right, are going to be the weak spot, because it's all based on pure timing, really. Any sort of info or audio you can give away, that's going to be the chance for Funhavers to sneak past these defenses. Like, it's like they're literal security cameras breaking into B site. But now that you have the deadlock utility placed again back on B, MXS are going to be much more active with their holds and probably take a much more aggressive stance on mid, I would assume.
Honestly, if anything, I feel like you just let them hold mid. Corrupt is the only one extending past, any closer to CT. I think you have confidence in how you're able to hold backside on both of these sites if you're MXS at this point.
Well, this should be Prakto getting Hunter's Fury orb on B main. That'll be good to either fake out B side or just even unlock spacing towards Art stairs.
Yeah, they might just need to open something up with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's been the big issue. Working out the util and waiting to the literal last second to push B worked for Funhavers, but already BCJ's having that active hold in the failure part of the last round. Forcing out utility towards A, looking to see if it's a split. Won't be. Bad Dog might have just given the round to Moist. There's no active presence needed. The Dog didn't find any information there. Lockdown available. Already MXS in place to back away completely.
30 seconds left.
And nobody's over-rotating. There's still a presence on B just in case. You have the teleports to make sure that you're still ready for the retake.
This is, I mean, the best setup that MXS could hope for if they're not reading the TP, because Paint can just op.
10 seconds left.
Now gonna ulti for the plants.
Great info.
Knows he can't, deal with it himself. Will just let the rest of MXS have easy intel, but Corrupt, beautiful turn onto Pancakes, and they can now control the entirety of lane. But MXS, they're not pushing from there anymore. They have the rest of the site to worry about, and Paint has an open sight line onto the lane. Down goes Corrupt. Now Blast has to go for the off angle inside. The smoke is good for 2! And Spaz forced to make up for lost time in room. Blast clutches up for Funhavers. And they'll get 2 in a row.
Holy, Funhavers again, the very last second, a round that should have been handedly for Moist. Lost again in these firefights. Again, these micro timings, a new team like Moist, they will struggle with the synergy. Their retakes on B, and frankly, if we look at the series as a whole, their defensive retakes have been kind of shaky all throughout. Is the weak spot of this team thus far. Funhavers, they may have found their key to victory to tie things up, but they're going to challenge A right away here. A has been a site that's been better for Moist to retake, but this could all be bait to lead back to B.
Oh, Paints!
Oh no.
That's massive.
No.
Yeah, let's go. Let's bum rush it. This is the moment. Fast lane, Spaz is undeterred, but Zeke is already extended and found Brock. Spaz waiting for discipline, good hesitation, but Spaz is still good for 2 as Funhavers will entry. 3v2 now on the post plant. Funhavers looking to fun on this third round for themselves. Blast, long range firing, and Pancake's already found. Having to waste all of that util just to get back on, but with Tim still on site, Pancake's just under constant aggression, and Funhavers will refuse to let up. That's exactly how they should take the rest of this attacking half as well. Pancake's only alive for so much longer. How many more kills can he find? Stuck inside the smoke. He'll search for Tim here. Does find him. Now has to try and take the fight. No time on the spike, no doubt. Despite the fact that that Nano Swarm's already gone. He will tap it for at least 1, but far too many tools that these 2 remaining players have for themselves to even have to peek dangerously. They still will. Pancakes gets 1 more before spike goes boom. Funhavers up to 3.
The slipperiness that we're seeing from Funhavers has been so good these last 3 rounds. MXS, they have a very important choice to make this round. Yes, the buys aren't great. Gives them all the more reason to force out at least one of the 2 choices, right? play aggressive. Push up. Paint has been doing so well taking that B space, and it looks like Moist are going to be taking their timeout. What kind of decisions can they make here? It has to be how they can deal with the post plant. That is the entire denial comp that they're bringing out. You are making sure Funhavers cannot get on site. Whether it be the fault of Paint missing an op shot, dying, and opening up the entirety of A site for the team, or BCJ having that timing of an early wall falter, and the smokes not being enough to stop Funhavers from taking B site 2 rounds in a row. Those are 2 gigantic weak spots for this team. And so honestly, I think even on pistols here, you just push up, man. Take these fights. Make Zeke use overdrive this round.
Definitely.
Not make it have any value on a round that, I hate to say it, really matters.
It's tough. I mean, does MXS think that, you know, Funhavers has the formula figured out, or did MXS just get too proactive instead of reactive?
I think they're getting a little reactive
I
now.
think. You think they're playing too close to Funhavers plays? I thought they were. I thought if anything they were taking a distance.
Well, they were playing reactive as in they would back away and then go for a retake.
I see.
Being proactive.
Okay.
Our activities are like reversed, I think.
Zeke will get inside to start, but kind of blasted by Util there, so it's a little bit messier than Funhavers would like. In fact, they're down 3 here, and they'll get hit by the Nightfall. Blast does get tapped by that, meaning Paint only has to take 1 shot to finish him off. Practo all of a sudden alone, and this time, the B lane clear is not full, and MXS is here to play. They'll get their 6th on the board.
And here I was saying this round wouldn't really matter for Moist if they didn't win it out, because they started off with 1 rifle. And suddenly they collapse on Funhavers by having the right read on this being a rush. Funhavers, I'm sure in their minds thinking that this would be an eco round for Moist and they could just steamroll in the B.
Right there.
Learned a very painful lesson that they have to keep defaulting through mid.
I am with you. We are strong.
All right, I like this play. Look at the position here from Pancakes. I'm expecting a very quick paranoia into a swing from BCJ.
Ooh, tough ult, Zeke, and now a star to grab Blast as well. That's a really rough start. But it was one of Funhavers' only options. You really just have to gamble on that. And they'll still make some space with the util they have left. Give Tim a sheriff. And see what else they can poke and prod at. If MXS can do it, then Funhavers sure as hell can too.
Cosmic Divide and BCJ has Annihilator. That's going to be a tough shout. Funhavers' win condition here might be for them to expel their ultimates, to not have to worry on a full rifle round. But we just saw how that just went for Moist.
Obscuring vision.
Nightfall helps secure the win here. Big push once more for Fun. It's the stars that go directly onto the spike. The Noble Pulse ensuring at least a denial for now. Through the smoke though. Possible escape. Paint. Playing off that timing. If the escape were to happen, it would have been then. Corrupt, a singular HP left.
30 seconds left.
1 off. No command. Won't make a difference there. Can't activate it. BCJ. Quick to the draw. Moist are looking fantastic on this defense.
There's no need for the enemy
Yeah,
to
brought it
suffer.
back,
Kill them
restabilized,
fast.
and went for that early denial that you were talking about, but in a far more efficient manner. Paint now no longer playing as that, like, just infiltrating stepper, instead just playing more as almost a blanket initiator, just playing for
Sound sensor up.
blinds, playing for fakes,
Over there.
just getting in the faces of Funhavers. Hunter's Fury and Null command to open up a site here, so they could go fast, especially if they find an opening frag. If they're gonna fight over Orb, they might do that.
And this deadlock can face into the null command because their utils on the other side of the map. They don't have to worry too much. Oh, it's a war.
Spike down.
Oh, it's quiet on the western front. It's gonna be Funhavers, only with 1 left now. A wall. What a fitting metaphor with the spike being separated with it. That's rough.
It was really tough timing, unfortunately, to commit the Hunter's Fury on top of that box rather than, like, I don't know, try and push it down, like, main lane to prevent other members of MXS from getting there, or just a little bit later if you can, like, shuffle it on top of the null command to still clear the board again. It felt a little panicky from Practo, unfortunately. It felt a little panicky from everybody after that opening pick, but they held their own for quite some time there for a second.
And that's really going to be the story for attacking teams the entire group stage. A lot of these teams have had less than a week of practice, really. And so these panic ults, feeling the pressure of not really gaining too many attacking rounds, it's going to add
30
up.
seconds left.
Exactly what happened to Funhavers at the end of Haven. Panic ults all over. No doubt now. The team calming and discussing what they can do for this final round of the attack and, frankly, what they can do for their own defense. They don't have nearly the same stall potential that MXS do.
10 seconds left.
Funhavers, for those who
Last
don't know,
round in
were
the half.
one of the 3 teams that got here via the closed qualifier that happened at the beginning of this month. They actually beat Winthrop University on their
Play some
way
stars in this
to that
reality.
spot.
Yeah, I will be honest, that's a little surprising.
Right there.
Like, Funhavers have a lot of great ideas. Like, I like the strats that they have in mind, but
About there.
Winthrop has just been dominating on
That's wet.
Neon and really taking advantage of the fact that, again, these teams have not been pracking for very long. And so Funhavers having more time than a lot of others here with that open qualifier experience should be a leg up over Moist. But it's just that experience gap at times, too, that comes into play. Proactivity again for this last round. Angles held. Pancakes is set up and ready. Cannot find the shots. It's a double here for Funhavers.
Great death ball that's now going to get pile drive by a null command. Gravnet for BCJ on the offense. Almost deals with Corrupt as well, but still alive and kicking. 4v2 on Funhavers opener, but Paint is going to try and intercept early with this ultimate. Very early. Is he gonna just fight all 4 of these people by himself? No way. Get out of there, buddy. Okay, Cosmic Divide on top of the lockdown. He looks for it. Oh, Paint! That's tough, buddy. He really went for it. I respect it. Spaz has to play such a long waiting game. You got nothing at this point, unfortunately.
Again, a very healthy half for Funhavers.
He's going to smoke this to at least make it a bit of a coin flip, but yeah, you got to wait out the Nano Swarm. You got people who can peek. Funhavers, yet again, they have enough to get over the line here. More than enough, in fact.
Switching sides.
Yeah, but I'm just really worried about this team composition difference. BCJ is not adhering to any utility usage at all until post-plant. Spaz can lurk the entire time, and frankly, so can BCJ. Will he? Probably not. But double smokes, the Yoru that can reset information that Funhaver could rely on at any point in the round. This is going to be a very slippery attack. And the trade ability that Funhavers need to have on a map that, frankly, doesn't promote a lot of defensive trades is going to make this very unfun for Funhavers. But hey, you have Neon. Full
Surely our hero will save us.
Yeah. Electric Bender, Neon. I love this camera angle. Dog does find information. Nothing really too surprising. There's someone backside A. Okay. Five Nights at Pearl.
Dude, yeah, I was going to say, I got to go check vents.
I'm waiting for one of those Valorant teddy bears to give you a jump scare. Oh, this alarm bot could open up the entire round, though. Again, the rotates for Funhavers need to be extremely quick. But no. MXS, they're working the map very efficiently here. They broke the alarm bot, assuming now this is the core piece of info that the defensive team has to work with, and nobody rotates. This is a good call from Funhavers. They're doubling down. And they don't. MXS, the presence, top of here may not be known. I like this execute.
But like you said, Funhavers are available, and it looks like they can skate the smokes a lot better. Side of the flash, Tim can't get anything done, but Corrupt can collapse on top of their own smoke. MXS will scatter back to a B site they think they can outrun Funhavers towards, and they're right. They just have to drop pancakes along the way.
Bomb grenade up. Target destroyed.
So now a turret and Blast himself to intercept this 13-second push onto B side. Only one kill is all they might need. It just has to be the right one. It's not. Brock is the one planning, and he'll make it the default spot. Blast on the jump to collapse on top of the shock dart, but it's not there in time, and the rest of MXS still here to play. Spaz trying to stall out against these last two. He's good for one. Corrupt, though, holds the angle just long enough, just as Funhavers were doing the whole round. MXS had a whole lot of seasoning on that attack, but at the end of the round, all they taste is salt.
Yeah, it's these post plants that Funhavers look the absolute strongest. The retake looking solid. It's literally the opposite between both teams. Moy struggled for so long retaking B site no matter what the economy looked like, and Funhavers already starting things off with a really good solid foot into a stride to buy up extra weapons. And this is a complete save from MXS. They're gonna barrel rush A in hopes of taking away guns.
Yeah, gotta get in here early. And wow, pancakes mega early. Will try to duck into this, but once again, Funhavers ready. They're going to just try and press it once again. Confidence will persist, but the kills are still coming through from Funhavers. Practo,
Need
I
that
think
back.
every item in their kit just got a kill.
Wow.
Spaz once again.
RPG Sova. There's really not much Spaz can do here.
Nah, you got 2 stars. You can maybe like zone out and find an early kill, but you have to pick the one who's on low health, and that's Corrupt, and they're literally behind Practo. Yeah.
It's like a sentry turret.
I know. They both, yeah, they both turned so quick.
That was elegant.
Rosenkrantz and Guildenstern looking, who goes there?
I was thinking like an automated sentry that just snapped. That was wild, like a ballet almost. Funhavers, though, are bringing this back, and this is going to be the round that really determine these next 2 rounds, I'll say, really determine how this series is going to go. Funhavers, if they can remove this economy again from MXS, delay and deny these rifles, big start to the round. But MXS are going to work the map here. 2 lurks available now, 1 possibly spotted that may have been Spaz off of the knife. I think he just narrowly dodged it. But this is just finding an opening now. Very similar to how Funhaver played their early rounds. Alarm bot, very different from the active util BCJ had to babysit. Will also actually be babysat by Blast.
But this is far less dangerous than a sonic sensor stack. MXS will still pay it the same amount of respect, at least this round, with the rifles they have in tow. And with the A poke from Pancakes imminent, it does look to be an A crunch, but once again, Funhavers, stoic, they're ready for it, and they have most of the KJ util on A side.
That smoke is so smart bottom stairs, forcing out the gunshots, having audio info against MXS. And Moist know that too. They have to reorient themselves back to B site. ZK, only an outlaw, no Yoru TP, has to just dash away off of 1 kill, at most.
BCJ and Spaz are in kill range on a body shot. And guess who is peeking out first? Haunt to guarantee Zeke's position. He'll have to use just about everything left to get out, and he's Neon, so he will. Spaz able to grab that peek onto Blast, but again, util was on the wrong site. Pancakes, brother, what are you doing?
10 seconds left.
Everybody's on, but nobody's locked, and there's 7 seconds on the damn clock. Funhavers completely shut it down again.
Please stay alive.
The calling in the mid-round for both these teams have been the pain point for the round's success against them. 3 rounds now for Funhavers. They're 1 off of tying things up. And Moist are forced to go for probably one of the earliest timeouts of maybe their careers, but the team's lifespan. And I don't just mean this iteration. Yeah, what do you do to unlock this round? When we saw Moist go for the last timeout, it was really just the double down on their gunplay. And really, I don't think it's going to be much different here. Trying to force out these gunfights, force Funhaver to rotate into a firefight rather than pre-prepare for one. And just ignore utility might be the move here. I'm not going to lie. You don't have to adhere to KJ alarm bots as much as you do a deadlock wall.
Yeah, straight up. I think you got to just start disrespecting him a little bit more.
Yeah. Push through the smokes.
Just be as confident as you tried to be on that second round. But do it on, you know, whatever angle you want to start out rather than, you know, whatever angles you feel like you need to, like, formally clear of alarm bots and whatnot.
I will say this, though.
There.
Moist found where ZK plays the majority of the round that last time, and depending if he's going to keep switching around, which so far he hasn't, Moist might feel a lot more comfortable at Challenge A here because they don't have to go up against the Neon.
That might be all you need, but a double high-low held by Corrupt to hold the backside here along with Tim. And has the null command as well. Could play this really whenever they want to.
I mean, you do have 2 sets of smokes. It's not doom and gloom just yet for Moist, but they are down a body.
Really tough to open in this, especially with Brock on the opposite angle. He'll have to brute force his way in. Oh no, okay. So Pain's gonna actually interlink the two with the double smoke to help out. And he'll just, he'll actually follow that up.
Oh,
that was a great closing by MXS here, and Pain is actually going to pile on top of this. He's really taking advantage of how much Funhavers is giving him for one of the first times we've seen this attack half so far. What matters is that the rest of MXS is able to hold it down until Pain gets to a good angle, and they're getting there. They're getting pretty close. Now take your shot. Take your shots. There you go, Pain. And BCJ also good for 2 on the share of 2. Now a dimensional drift to play distraction, but that makes it so BCJ is the only one remaining. Zeke can just lock him down and run right back to Spike. God, I love Neon, and I love Funhavers, who have now tied the game.
That was such smart decision-making from Pain. He
Great
just held the trigger a little too long. Even the dimensional drift was there to spot out the remaining players' info for his teammates to get the kills, and it didn't work. But now Funhavers, their retakes have looked fantastic, and they know not to overheat too much. They know their strengths into this series. And they just back away and play as a team. This is looking great from Funhavers now. I thought for sure this would be a much farther away scoreline than Haven would have been. So once more, Corrupt starts things off with early onset pressure to B. ZK already rushing.
He's in there. Grabbing it to try and stop him, and that's good for it. And BCJ can actually turn back. Dude, this kid is lit today.
Look, this is the round you want to play proactive. You can break the tie if you want to continue to play backwards, right? Backside, retakes, safety city. You can try around to see what it's like to full-on aggress, and it didn't look that great. So now I think Funhavers, that will be their only proactive round.
Shadows traveling.
Full site control on B. Blast. Surely wouldn't use a lockdown here, and they're not even close to proccing it.
Listening. Sound sensor
All backside control here. And this is a tough situation, right? BCJ, the lockdown util most effective in the post plans. Haven't done much to stifle Funhaver. Makes me wonder in the future if we're going to see this deadlock return for the squad or not. Could be absolutely a weak spot for the post plant.
Yeah.
Can't use that yet. Placing sentry.
And not even any pressure peaking while you're clearing util like this. It's, yeah, very little slowdown, but you still got 3 people watching you. So very secure round for MXS here. After so much was utilized there by Funhavers to try and get in front of the problem, but now it's MXS who are holding arguably all the cards and once again the lead.
Just gonna reinforce here with the null command. All the retake behaviors that Funhaver have been able to employ. ZK's all by themselves on B. Now with the help of KJ.
Still opping as well.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? Yeah, it worked out well. The run and slide and dash and get away can be very valuable as an escape option. And because it's not an outlaw, you're not gonna overheat too much. That is a nasty corner.
Yeah.
And you know what? He's going to get a kill there, too. Oh, never mind. I cursed it.
Oh, he's already in? Wow, huge. Huge by BCJ. That'll get shot down and smoked out. Matters not. Oh, okay. CK, that's a little unfortunate. That's a tough kill credit to give over, but they were getting burned away anyway.
At this point again, MXS have all the cards at their disposal. 3 bodies left. Funhaber 1 star with the Astra.
Last player.
And now they're starting to take angles much more aggressively and confidently.
Practice forced to run away.
No reason to try and take this, yeah.
But that was a big charge off the hands of Annihilation. BCJ won't have that ult again.
Yeah, you definitely can't replicate that. That was perfectly timed by BCJ. And, I mean, Paint, like, Zeke had the peek back. Like, and Blast still had that turret up. Like, B lane control was still theirs without that ultimate. The thing is,
There's also Nightfall.
There was also the Nightfall. You do have Cosmic Divide this time around. So MXS can kind of zone out Zeke a little bit more this round rather than just try to aggro him. But they also could just do that on A site and stack and win. But Funhavers look ready to intercept that. Once again, these pre-round reads are great from Funhavers.
They really have been. I love how they've been able to mark down an MXS, and yeah, they've been scrimming so much this defensive side that it looks so much more refined. I'm curious to see where that Cosmic Divide from spawns will live. I feel like it's going to be a post-plan one, but my god, look at these fights. Blasting everywhere. ZK's still alive. 85 HP. Not a lot of guns to work with. Corrupt's the only one with a rifle left on the squad.
Corrupt isn't checked. They're checking for the swing back from Zeke. They're not checking for Corrupt.
And Zeke is
and
they're
leaving Paint alone with an operator on this.
Oh no. No escape either.
What? Corrupt!
Oh,
Okay, all right.
Your lurker's gone too. It's been counter-lurked out by Blast. They've taken mid-control. All you have is A-long. And that's not much.
I don't think they picked it up. I think they thought they were closer.
It's okay to back away here. The op in a 2v3 like this might be more of a throw than anything else. Oh, don't pick it up. Where is it? Doesn't matter though. Look at this timing off of Blast. This will be everything. Zeke can just play off audio and give up sight. Maybe a challenge! 3 HP. No information given on this Killjoy especially.
30 seconds left.
Corrupt also. No command available.
Planted.
BCJ!
BCJ, where are you going, buddy? 3 HP between Funhavers in their 9th round, and nope, Corrupt's found him.
And now, surely you give this defuse now to Blast. That's lockdown, no command in your possession. You could bring out that Cosmic Divide this next round or really any time, man. You have 2 very powerful ultimates that can shut it down.
How about I only bring a ruler next time?
Wow. Okay, Blast. Yeah, this will be a tough call for MXS. Their struggle here is the early round. A lot of these early fights have gone in Funhaver's favor. Tim's util usage off these stars has been so round-changing. Oh, mid to Art we go.
You have, yeah.
Though the paranoia off of Pancakes early on here should be enough to stifle a lot of these plays, but no, he just backs out. He hears everything.
Immediately TP's back. Good reaction time here from Pancakes. Not selling any presents, but doesn't necessarily have to because MXS are not taking their time running up Plaza here. This is great pressure. They haven't made the call for the rotation just yet. Now they will, but everyone from MXS is already here. How much work can Blast do? In a great position. Okay.
Zeki does not have op. Instead now a Vandal. Needs to be much more aggressive post-lockdown. But this buys so much time.
Deadlock
Hunter's
wall.
Fury available.
Double Cosmic Divide. Hunter's Fury onto
Wow.
Ooh, from the back down lane to try to clear the board early. That gives Funhavers a lot more space. Corrupt is just holding them in the faces. Sprayed away, down to just Spaz, and he's gone. Funhavers just brute force their way through it. And MXS, they do not answer with enough volume. They just don't have enough. Funhavers have everything.
They threw everything they had in MXS to tie it up. Moist, both teams should have another timeout to work with, and yeah, I think it's needed here. Moist have only been able to gather 2 rounds on this attack. Their own map pick. It's been a struggle for both teams to figure a way to lead the victory. Back to A we go for this early conditioning. But this battle for the attack has not won well on A. Surely this won't be a dedication again. Maybe at best? No. Look at the eco. Stingers and Sheriffs, I think they double down here and fight this to the end.
Yeah, they're just gonna try and brute force right back.
It's off the timing and now a Spaz. He can play this slow, but as long as he can bypass really the timing of this KJ and be a distraction, or have his main team distract, there's a chance to get on site.
Without concussing it.
Another early intercept. It's a fragment that'll take out PCJ. The circle back from Pain, he's already way too far in, and yet again, Funhaver's presence is not there enough. Rock already got his Nightfall to just make sure the board is supremely geared, but nobody from Funhaver's got hit. Swing from both members that are there. Zeke the one to get the kill, but he's holding the operator, and there's 3 members of MXS left.
Gotta go.
He could escape.
Shocking.
He doesn't have to fight this.
Oh, he's gonna go for it. Oh, and immediately goes down to the paint fight. What a round from MXS. Exactly the W key they needed to execute there.
And look, you got Yaro all into the next round. You can bring up the same strat again if you want to. Extra information given. We've been seeing Paint ult come out very late in post plants. You're challenging a potential up. The buys don't really say there could be one, but in theory, you're challenging some sort of long-range utility. Instead, though, Paint will activate ult, start of round, go through B-Link, and clear out any sort of Sentinel util. Oh, but mid. Hello? Hello, Funhavers? What is this?
Okay, Zeke is already in this.
There.
They've completely crunched that, and so MXS have to rush down this B site. Paint's ult has already got him up pretty far. You gotta watch for that. Ooh, Corrupt, good angle.
No way.
But not found. Paint's just gonna aggro this. Easiest fight of his life. Good recovery by MXS, but you still got an overdriving Zeke ready to go. Practo in the exact same angle. They'll push this with a whole lot of power. And there's not a Sentinel to slow them down. There only is players. Brock holds the line. Good for 1. Traded out. And they can easily 2v1 the finality. 1 round out from moving to the winners finals.
Match point.
The calling from Funhavers has been exquisite this defense. Even though they didn't convert the round, the call made right away to skirt up AR into mid and go for that micro flank could have changed things drastically had it not been for Paint to be the TP back, essentially. Or TP to their final spot before the engagement back B site. That could have been the round right there. Funhavers one more timeout to bring out. They have all the right ideas. Right now, it's just down to the firefights. MXS, they feel comfortable on B yet again. They're going to start things back off on A. That's their default strat. I bet we're going to see ZK really try to pug it out here with Overdrive, and either this will have high chances of success or a very low fruit for MXS to get their 13th.
Drip or drown here for Funhavers. In the meantime, YFP Maryville still on map 2 on Haven. They're tied at 10 at the moment. Very excited to see where that match ends up. Again, the winner of that match will be facing the winner of this match on this stream. Loser of this game, or loser of this match will be facing loser of that match on Knights Arena stream here in the group stage, and then we'll have one more match that's not casted by you and IKEG.
Aww.
Chat's just crying so hard about it.
That's okay.
Oh, I can see all the chatters now. No, Tenrek and Keg, no. Please, we love your casting so much. You are our favorites, and you've never said anything sus before. And your dad is so proud of you.
Now we're getting a little unrealistic. What do you mean, Max? You're talking about video games. Well, you know. Well, Dad, let me tell you this.
Dad.
Right now, it's going to be 3 attacking A site for MXS. Stars are everywhere. It's the cosmos right in front of the entry. And seeing how much is in the way, I think Moist want to try to activate as many stars as possible.
Let's.
They want this Astro Util gone.
That's not gonna. Yeah, they're not. He's not gonna use that Yeah, there's no way Tim's phased by that.
Yeah, not even one was brought out there.
This is the one round I would want MXS to like go to each and every piece of util that is available on the field right now and make sure it doesn't exist. And they can't. Funhavers are playing too close to their gold. Zeke, elbow spotted. Is that the call to rotate? Did Spaz just give that away? They've got to aggro this. Spike is here and there's only 28 seconds. They just got to push it.
That ult's going to come out right now.
Yeah, they've just got to clear it. Let's hope you find Zeke, buddy.
Oh, no.
He's right there.
Annihilation's gone. Overdrive activated. Oh, deactivated.
What great timing from Pancakes. Slow walk up to take the space artificially. And now it's down to the high ground that Corrupt has to take early on. Nobody from Funhavers is available. Spike will get down just in time. I don't know how MXS managed to time that out. Pancakes breaching even farther. Funhavers somehow keeping up with the competition. Now all of the defensive util is faded. Blast has already been found out, but BCJ is low. Luckily, Paint's got his back. And Brock now has his front. In front of Tim. In front of Blast. Burn away the rest of Funhavers. No problem. The Broctagon brings MXS to the winners finals of the group.
I am so happy what we got to see from Funhavers. This was one of those teams where it's not that there was low expectations, it's that we didn't know what to expect. And part of that onus also fell onto this Moist Shopify stack being unknown. It's an odd couple of a lot of different players being mishmashed together. A lot of doubts were made by Moist, and they're certainly not in the clear yet, Tenrek. But you gotta trust your boy Sean Gares to see that he has the vision. And it took a while, but it seems like that synergy is being built up very quickly.
And with time comes prowess. We'll give MXS some more time. We'll give them some more games when we head to the winners finals against whoever wins between YFP and Maryville. We'll be watching. We hope you are too, and we'll see you here after the break for winners finals.
We've been blessed with a banger on our hands. It is going to be a monstrous battle to see who can qualify through the upper bracket to see who can make it into the full shebang of challengers. Of course, my name is Keg, and I'm joined by Tenrek once again. And, buddy, I'm very excited for this matchup.
This is probably one of the most exciting matchups of the group stage for me, for sure.
Oh yeah.
The one of the best cores in North American challengers. I went stand-up mode so quick, dude. One of the best North American cores. Yeah, what's the deal with YFP? One of the best American cores from this past split, joined by friggin' Stellar from Dark Zero, coming into this split 3. Absolutely insane team. And I mean, we've already been glazing MXS for the past like 2.5 hours, but I guess we'll continue to because they're looking really friggin' good, Max.
So I have a question for you, right? And this is going to be a bit of a hot topic, I suppose. And you know what?
Okay.
Even chat, right? In the wall of the watch parties, I'm very curious to know what everyone's thoughts are. In terms of all the rosters we have through the group stage, where does YFP's land? Because I've heard both ends of the spectrum. It's either like the best one or it's kind of towards the bottom.
Yeah, I agree. It has been very much like either people think they're super overrated or people think they're super underrated. I haven't seen much in between personally. I think they're right near the tippity top.
For you, right?
I genuinely think they're near the tippity top. I'm gonna be real. I think maybe I would safely say maybe top 5 for me in this.
Really, I'd say top 3.
Top 3? You know what?
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna dunk on you for that. I think that's realistic as well.
So
100%.
Here's my hot take, right?
Okay.
In no particular order, top 3 teams on paper: Moy Shopify, YFP, TSM. However,
okay,
because of the patch we're on right now, I'm also going to say like an asterisk for Winthrop.
very true. Yeah, Infiltrator definitely made a case for, I think, the rest of the crowd right now. I think, you know, if you have an explosive duelist, if you have some great enablers on your team, anybody can make a good run in a tournament like this with a lot of money on the line. You got some hungry puggers.
Oh yeah.
These guys are paid though. They're here for the love of sport.
Yeah. Good for them.
Player standing.
But that being said, though,
Rocket.
Moy Shopify, it's already a fantastic start. Paint on the Yoru, BCJ on the Deadlock. Very interesting composition starting off. I like this. Again, you're looking mainly for stall, denial. Make sure YFP cannot get onto a site and fight with everything they have to do so.
I have the spike. Standing ahead.
Oh, physic unfortunate there. So, let's talk about the elephant in the room. This is a revenge match between YFP and Moy Shopify. The talk of the town last year, going into the first stage of VCL, was that Thief was performing pretty well on Shopify. And suddenly, what it felt like out of nowhere was the announcement that Thief was taken off of Shopify and replaced with Odorous. Now, say what you want about Odorous and his run so far in last year for Shopify. Actually, it's still this year, good lord. But after...
You've aged so much.
I'm an old man now. But Moist went on a huge run after Odorous rejoined the squad. They honeymooned hard. And unfortunately, that only lasted about a month. Thief has been on YFP for a little bit now. This squad's been looking good. But I bet there's still some of that, I don't know if you want to call it resentment, but there's definitely still some feelings into this matchup. And with a brand new squad from Moist that had nothing to do with all that, this will be interesting to see what they do. But Pancakes immediately already having quite the statement for the Crossfire. It leaves just Stellar left, the newest new member of YFP.
Different steps of denial for these opening rounds on defense. And once again, opting for a Yoru Deadlock addition to the Ascent core, as is YFP. Actually, YFP with the double Sentinel here instead.
Yeah,
so
nice
shifts. Yeah,
you could also argue is somewhat of a Sentinel depending on how he wants to play, but it's more so a Jet replacement that doesn't find as much entry value.
Right.
But on the defense, you lack a KO. And from TSM Ambrosia last night, this was a major issue for the defensive Yoru, that there wasn't a lot of setting up for the op plays. I like how Spaz is right there alongside Paint. Paranoia potentially ready too. Of course, having to watch A, that does leave this upper alone with no recourse, no TPs are out.
Paint's gonna step
it
out
was
early
by
and
mistake.
yeah. We'll definitely try and be a chameleon
Right here.
this game, opting between, like you said, those Sentinel and Duelist roles. Starting out on the up here in round 3, and it's quite fruitful to get rid of Penny, who is frontlining that tree push. That will be the integral part of this A crunch. That's why so much Sentinel util has been placed there by Moistek Shopify. Spaz still holding down the cubby as well. And with this defensive smoke placed up quite far, he has a lot of room that he can toy with here, as Paint will shut down once more. And it is a complete hold here on tree for MXS. YFP, unfortunately, everything cut short. Paint, good for 3. What is that? Hello?
Oh my. Unbelievable from Paint. Yoru, we saw last night, didn't find that much value on the op. But Paint, a completely different beast. The shutdown factor, having to watch out for this dude, already a level up from what felt like the Pearl comp from before. YFP, they're gonna struggle on these choke points. And this is a comp that hasn't strayed too far from the norm that we've seen for the last 8,000 years. The only difference again is that the KO is gone, and now, lacking flashes completely, YFP chose to bring in Stellar's Deadlock.
Right here.
That's good for the post plan. But again, MXS, the path to victory is simple. Make sure YFP can't get on site. And that spike has been lost on choke every round thus far. Back to mid we go. Spy cam brought out to see if anyone overlurks B main and grabs orb. Answer will be no. BCJ could be the opener. But no, he's the openee.
Cage triggered.
MXS still not
Take flight.
letting go of any sight. Holding A just as stalwart as they were before. As YFP is cutting noise. Good call, just to take that passive lane space. Thief silent the whole way through, and it's enough to scare Brock, but not enough to kill him. 11 HP in Paint. Hey, he's still holding that thing.
One enemy remaining.
Annihilation. Yeah. Once again, well met. Once again, well taken.
Never.
4-0 to start things out here. YFP, I should say, definitely just about as tired as MXS is from that last map. Maryville took them the distance in map number 2. And I think actually they were up 9-3 at one point. If the YFP social team is not misleading me.
I'm sure they're not.
They wouldn't lie to me.
I'm looking at this composition from Moist, and this is something I want to watch the next few rounds. And I think this is going to be a highlight of the squad throughout Challengers if they make it. Paint and Co. Very individualistic players. Of course, you do want to play off of each other, but the two Sentinels, spaced far out, holding singular lanes, not really in a position to trade a whole lot. Each one of these players has that hero potential to shut down all of YFP on their crunch. We're gonna see it here. Spas by themselves, Annihilator out, it's gonna miss. It holds the line completely themselves. Through the smokes, a Phantom available. The Cypher spotted.
Still cut in. Stellar able to grab him at the back. But Paint can speed his way onto site. And so MXS still intends to overwhelm early here. Brock can just kind of spray and pray, but Thief, wide extension on top of the blind from Paint. We'll make it back to a 2v2. Stellar repeaks, Paint can't hold it back. BCJ, lone survivor on this retake, and still has to worry about Thief's wide angle. There it goes, but Stellar for the early re-up. And YFP is on the board.
Great entry off of the Deadlock ult, securing at least a ton of space to force out a reposition for any defenders backside of A. That puts you in an open spot. Luckily though, Spaz was able to bypass the ult, get away in time, hide through I believe a cyber cage, and still spray through that A entry to find damage and slow down YFP's push. Certainly though, MXS, they can be as individualistic as possible.
Caution here.
But if you have to rush to a site, that's where things get tricky. Paint's no longer opping, realizing now the pace of the game has changed. You need to bring out a Vandal in a situation like that. Has to be more active in these spots. Paint by themselves. Spycam reveals them. The timing, though! You just lost your Cypher. For post plants, that'll be rough in case there's the flank. But to be honest with you, losing anybody in the beginning here, I'd be okay with the Yoru. MXS, they're hiding away and...
Right here.
Well, it doesn't seem... I'm sorry, removing the Cypher, I should say. You don't really see this team come for MXS be the one to flank non-stop. They like to hold their angles.
Gonna proc out some early engagement. And he's got the knives out. And is in. Finds Brock immediately. Great cut. Pancakes, this is a very risky swing on top of his own wire, but it'll work out! Jake is unsuspecting! And Market Door, while closed, is completely unguarded. MXS can freely make their way onto the site itself now in the 3v3, and Penny is forced to take a farther back angle with this operator. Easily smoked out. Spaz wasting that time in the fight means it's just a 2v3. Pancakes, a little bit of long TTK. It can still drop down and find Penny. Good for 3 so far this round, and Physic down to a crisp of health. It is too easy for the remainder of MXS to take over B site and the 6th round.
Fantastic retake, all the micro there, the flashes brought out, the fact then that you could take this backside control with relative ease. YFP, they were all forced through these smokes in the back, and it makes trading between those small arches very difficult. And that's something a lot of attacking teams have been accustomed to hold on to in post plans. I love this malleability from Moist, but what I love just as much too is YFP's prowess to continue to double down their initial approach despite losing bodies right away. It's the lurk on that Cypher again. Thief is not close to neural theft. It is a broken buy across the board, yet they remain with their set strats. I'm expecting a much faster round, potentially this time. And Op held now top of A. BCJ far back, playing float. Mid-control, their priority. No utility brought out yet besides the sensors. Owl Drone certainly heard, and the call's been made now to bring out a smoke. Look at these buys, though. The best way you could leverage this could be the Hunter's Fury off of Physic, but I don't know if that's a risk you want to take.
Well, they've got to... I mean, they've got to make a choice at some point. Collat onto Physic, in fact, will make it even easier for the rest of MXS to clear out this attack. You had to throw it at some point. Thief is cooking.
Eagle eye.
Nice.
That's an Odin.
Okay, so now Stellar can actually take his time here. Walking up Cat. Job's not finished.
Great reveal.
He's gonna walk up tree. They're still gonna go for a crunch. BCJ, oh, this is good thinking by Thief, but not watching. Too much to look at, and Spaz sure doesn't have anything but one angle to check.
Yeah, of course, YFP went into that round on their eco, expecting to see just generally who was playing on site and what the timings of the rotate would look like. But as soon as Thief began to open things up, it did look winnable for just a small second. Stellar pivoted away from A main, back in the catwalk into garden place. Luckily though, again, the comms for MXS are looking so good. The crunch there, while Mini worked out well to stifle away, making sure Thief couldn't do any more damage than already done. Surely now you pick up the B orb and try to enable the neural theft, right? Another quick entry off Annihilation from Stellar would be big to open up B site. But look at these angles held by Moist. They're well aware of this. And they're playing so up close. Into the choke! A collat from Paint!
Another one?
Unbelievable! Hiding away from this ult, they don't want to get deadlocked.
So restrictive. And Pain is once again at the forefront of the action. MXS elected to start on defense here on YFP's pick of Ascent. We'll go to Abyss for map 2, and Split will be our decider. if we get there, but MXS on a tear at the moment. Obviously, the shenanigans that they're going for at the moment
Revealing area.
would not translate completely to the attack, but I'm sure they have far more up their sleeve. Pancakes is spotted, Stellar. Maintaining that presence, very much aware of how many could still be here. Making sure
30 seconds left.
that it's double-checked as often as possible. But only so much you can hold on to. And so much time on the clock.
Yeah, call made. The save here. The economy's not looking great on YFP's end.
Last player standing.
Keep in mind, too,
Spike down B.
it's been very vocal
Oh my
from
god.
YFP and their owner that this team has not had a lot of time to practice. I'm not expecting in-depth attacker strats really from any map this series to come through. It's going to be the defaults. What these teams have ran on Ascend for the longest time, and yeah, timeout absolutely needed here. Remember, this is the end of the year, and this is normally not a time we have challengers or stage 3. These players are still trialing, or at least they were. And up until a week ago, this team hadn't pracked at all. The fact they made it this far is really good, and Maryville, like you mentioned, brought them to the distance. But Moy Shopify, them having these more individualistic agents that can solo a lane, is gonna wear out YFP more than
Yeah.
anything else.
We'll wipe the floor if it's even a little bit more put together. I mean, such is the structure of Ascent defense.
Yeah, I mean, look, realistically speaking, YFP are gonna gain more defense rounds, or at least I would hope. As long as they can control Paint's pacing, they have certainly a fighting chance to bring this back, regardless of how many attacking rounds they get. But man, you gotta get more than one.
Listening.
A reminder that
Sound sensor
Fun Havers and Maryville University are currently facing off on the night's arena stream. They just started their first map of Pearl. Loser of that is out of the group stage. Winner of that will face the loser of this for the second out of the 2 spots available from this group for next week's playoffs, which you should make sure to tune into as well.
Oh, BCJ might be able to do the funniest thing.
Here.
Double annihilation available, an anti-entry. Penny gets hit into that chrysalis, the round is over. Your entry, your space creator lost.
Here.
It's a crossfire setup too for Moist.
Gravnet first. Penny is just barely ahead of it. He's on site, but the rest of the team is completely stuck, and Brock gets an easy 2 with the Hunter's Fury. Penny is inside and now with a rifle in hand, but once again, rest of MXS is on the way back, so they can just worry about the rest of the fight that is forced to happen now. Pancakes doesn't even have to use his one-way cyber cage until after half the team is gone. But Penny is re-extended, retaken, and the attempt of an annihilation from Stellar is brazen, but I compliment it. Unfortunately, it is met immediately by an MXS defense that ultimately only has one standing at the end of the round, but they make it work.
Yeah. I thought for sure BCJ would bring out Annihilation, but actually instead, Brock chose the safer option to bring out Hunter's Fury past the deadlock wall and removed. It's interesting, they removed the body from the Hydra, but not the head. Penny was deep in the B site and really couldn't do much. The space was created, but no one could follow up. It was all severed. And BCJ continues to keep this all into the next round. YFP are gonna attempt to go back to A site. They found some luck there in the past. A revenging Hunter's Fury in return should help at least clear the way for the split push into A site, and it does. But Moy Shopify are much slower to the draw on this retake, and they're together as a team.
Paint's elected to, TP back to B instead of the back site, and so it's even easier for MXS to resurface. Annihilation will finish off Penny. Easily caught out. Thief once again trying to go for the circle, but MXS now with the man advantage and a lot of time on the clock. Spike knocked down, ability to just fully swarm this one before taking on the rest of the fight, which Paint apparently is back to deal with by himself. Not every op shot can be perfect though, and Physic is still standing against Pancakes here. Yeah, don't pick up that, man. Damage done to Pancakes, instant drop down, no way! Did he just finish with a knife?
Oh, sliced in half. I mean, even from the get-go, right, of this composition, this was not going to look good for YFP. They are going up against a team that would have been fantastic to rock the KO in. The suppress, no matter where you bring it, has a high chance of removing some of the Sentinel utility. But even regarding that, right, YFP has still found some consistent value getting on site. It's just a matter of really taking advantage of having that site space and winning fights. Spaz was by themselves for a while on A and still removed all the upper heaven control. And back to B we go yet again. Thief this time has neural theft.
Camera cage trigger.
Yeah, just play off of
Feeling pressure now.
play off that opener so much easier, and Penny's been able to get him so consistently. So you can farm some intel here if you're YFP, or no, Thief is actually going to play back. I kind of like this.
He's farming for the neural theft.
Yeah,
He's
this is a good opportunity to just get an easy shot and collapse the rest of the squad. Paint will entry to lane with this operator. He gets in for free. Smoke is doing a lot of work, but Paint misses the opening shot. Now the first flash has to get used. Brock on the other angle, though, can just spray through, and that's going to be the board cleared. Everybody from the push still standing there.
very worrisome that defensive smoke came down and Thief essentially was stun locked.
Yeah.
The call seemingly wasn't made from YFP that already the defenders were pushing lane.
Last round.
Easily could have been an opportunity to get one kill, neural theft, and sacrifice his life from there, but Thief never swung. And
yeah, very vulnerable Paint for a good couple seconds there.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely could have made that call a little earlier.
And that worries me. If YFP are going to lose out on the micro plays like that, that was the big worry for Moist too in the previous series.
Right.
But they've already fixed that up. One round to YFP's name. A potential fast rush in again. No support from the other side. Physic had the Guardian, could have tried to remove the Odin. But instead now you've lost your Space Maker on a slate that's already been somewhat of a struggle to get in. Hunter's Fury in return of information. It's a severed push. A desperate attempt to get on site. Paint gets rid of Jakey. And Physic's the last one left. One round this half on Ascent. Resorting to the basic strats. Unable to find much. MXS had brought out a wacky comp.
Switching sides.
And they were able to solo 5-5.
Absolutely zero trouble. Every matchup favored MXS. Penny, definitely the closest to getting somewhere, but he is the Jet, so one would hope that's true.
Here.
Really difficult to say if YFP has a shot at doing the same amount on defense. They'll certainly get some work done here. They will not end this game with one round. I'm not even saying that as a jinx. They're going to get at least one more here. Question is, can they do it within these pistols? Are they gonna have to go for the force?
Look how deep that sonic sensor is.
This is very, very deep. It's got to be, specifically.
Oh no!
Well, there isn't a jet. I was gonna say.
Or anti-spawns.
It's gotta be, yeah. It would be anti-spaz, I think, if anything. Who happens to be lurking on A site, of course. Potentially to open it up here is Paint will TP back early, and yeah, it looks like we'll be faking that B press for
Blocking movement.
an easier A site. Wall placed with good timing though from Stellar, so they will have to wait a moment.
Here.
YFP though, actually doubling back a little more, expecting MXS to do the same once they recognize that the wall is here, but
Here.
brother, they just got here.
Ball's on a timer. Bound to fall relatively soon. Already the pathing from MXS marked out. The comms looking good. Exactly of where everybody needs to go and the site needed to be taken.
Running into this, Jake spraying through is viable for a moment there, but the spray back and an open door gives Brock the opening pick.
Here.
Couple members of MXS quite low, but YFP, no decent way in. And MXS,
Right here.
patience pays off for an easy plant that could lead to a
that's
very easy
diabolical.
13-1. What?
deadlock wall into the breakable
Oh yeah,
door.
into the breakable door. Yeah, that's really mean on the pistol round, for sure. Penny is gonna go crazy though from on high, and Thief actually did break through for a moment there, giving YFP an opening. 2v2, Penny very low, both called out, but Pancakes can't land the shot. Stellar halfway on the defuse, Brock misses out, and YFP are able to clutch up and will indeed get more than one this game.
Despite having the double wall set up and a smoke once both were broken, YFP, again, the coordination, you called it. They are going to get at least one more. Was fantastic in the post plant. Even the utility usage from Moist was on point. I was a big fan of the recon dart through the smoke. That should have been enough to secure the round and deny that defuse, but it wasn't. YFP, they were able to hold still and go back again to their fundamentals to have a retake. That worked out well. This is a map too where Moist should dominate these attacking post plants with Deadlock and Cypher utility. And sure, they can't have all of it on pistol, but even then, that could have been enough for the lockout. Back to B we go, and certainly a lockout from YFP's end. Cypher utility everywhere, and the Spectre spray from behind should definitely be enough to take at least one.
MXS just gonna,
war.
yeah, just brute force it, see if they can win out, and so far, they're not doing a bad job. Spaz catching Thief off guard with the cross, and all of a sudden, Moistech Shopify have got some guns. YFP
Planted.
walled out by the Deadlock yet again on this market swing.
Going out.
Gotta wait a little bit longer as Jake will set up shop, forcing Spaz to re-swing. I love this smoke on himself just to provide a couple different angles that YFP will have to double check. And it gives him such a good head swing onto Jake. That was gross, dude.
Thief is dead. No post plant util. No flank watch.
Oh, Penny is such a weird sight, but he somehow finds BCJ. And will now have a Bulldog, can immediately swing back in. And that'll help the rest get inside too, but Spaz is still kicking, has one more shot, and the Sheriff, but doesn't hold it down. YFP, yet again, just barely escape with a round.
Great timing off of Stellar there. Had that distraction factor, allowed Petty to have all the forces watch him as Stellar snuck his way in. Thief was long gone. I apologize, Pancake's long gone. That means no tripwires to watch for the anti-flank. Great work to have that recognition and still converted yet another round. MXS again.
Listening.
They've been able to get on the site. They have that spike down. It's these post plants. A factor that Fun Havers were able to take and use against them in the previous series to convert a lot of rounds. It made Pearl very close. And MXS now, they just need 2 rounds to bring things to map 2, their own map pick.
Cage triggered.
Once again, split push to B site. Tripwire certainly going to be destroyed. That does not mean it's a commit. The spike has not been picked up. A Gravnet brought out now. Call's been made to go for B. This is a risky one at that. Still, nobody in the backside has been cleared.
Yeah. Foot to the floor on a site that is not cleared completely. Spaz is holding down market. This is very messy. MXS are relying on individuality yet again. What was getting them so far on the defense? But the problem is YFP has more intel, and so they can take the fights as a pack more consistently. Still, a 2v2 as the spike goes down. Brock holding low, Pancakes in boat. Presence early known with the Odin, swinging back, Brock right in his face, and he's searching for 2. Stellar tries to chase him down, Brock low, but the lineup gives Pancakes the final kill, and MXS 9 rounds a game point.
MXS keeping it simple and not relying on rotation.
Jake's on the board!
Straight brute force to get in. What was on the board?
Jake's on the board.
Hooray! You're right! Oh, man. You know, my brain blocked that out, and it was probably for the best. I mean, hey, look, 6 assists, still being a selfless player. The smoke usage has been good to hide players in these very precarious moments, right? But now the lockdown potential, the Cypher util brought from mid-site. The tripwires brought out a great info tool for someone to potentially push up. There's Odin, a blockade. Nobody can cross that line in the sand. All of the Cypher util used so far up Won't be enough to protect the site. All the while, again, this could be a distraction. There is util waiting for the anti-push on A. What MXS is thinking? YFP are going to be proactive and push into them to take an early fight. But it's anything but. YFP are turtling up. They want to hold angles to have a chance to get some sort of body advantage on the execute rather than before.
Yeah. They want to just dogpile the moment they cross that line of scrimmage.
Oh, now that proactivity in mid.
Penny, is he going to step into this? 35 seconds to go.
No flashes available for YFP. Penny would be going in solo.
30 seconds left.
Cage triggered.
MXS are quite stacked. Thief is quite alone. But Shotgun, he has another cage, yeah. Do this again. He's just going to step into it. That's one.
My territory.
And YFP is available. But an aggressive deadlock ult. Penny finds Brock and he's punished by an annihilation. Shot out kind of early, but Paint's already on market. He finds that out by Penny, knifing right into him. MXS just barely enough time to plant, but YFP have so much space already and a man advantage.
Blocking movement.
Swing back from YFP on top of Spaz's smoke. Continuously walling them out. Penny still trying to be that first foot. You have to make this fight happen. BCJ so far back, it's gotta be just him. Stellar and Penny on top of it. Far angle for Penny. And they will keep it going. Clutch save round from YFP. They literally poured everything into it. They had 50 credits left total at the end of that. Well spent.
The stress of them taking so long for these retakes is taking years off of my life. But it worked out well. They played into the timer knowing they had a body advantage and didn't want to squander it away. And they nearly did. Backside took away 2 bodies and evened it out. But Penny's movement has been otherworldly on this defense. Kicking and screaming, giving YFP another round. And MXS, this time they finally put their eyes on A side. A grab net out. No one being proactive just yet. These early rounds, YFP dial it back. It's gonna be a rotate. A preemptive wall towards mid. That's gonna be super early. If MXS choose to wait to the last second to push into sight, the deadlock wall against them won't be a factor.
They'll spread again.
Sound sensor up.
Oh, they're looking to have the Cypher trips be bait. Oh,
Sensor
no way.
destroyed.
Okay, they destroyed the sensor though.
But that was through the wall.
Yeah,
that might
must
get false info.
Yeah, that'll give the impression that there's maybe still someone anchored.
Oh, but the Owl Drone's dedicated to confirm it's not.
They hear Paint stepping into this. They hear the decoy though, so they're not sure how far extended he is. That's going to be Thief's job to check, and job complete. Able to take down Paint.
30 seconds left.
So now it's Pancake's job to try and sell that inch in. But he's got to go help out this push-up tree because it has promise. BCJ pushes the line. Now has to enter on the door, but Stellar's already on the ground. He's got a lot more up his sleeve. 3 kills for the deadlock. 5 rounds for YFP.
And again, MXS just keep expecting these early rounds to have YFP attempt to push up and mow them down, but YFP, despite it being an eco against them, played that so safely. And it's worked. Only 1 round, MXS has been able to convert on the attack. But this should be a change of pace. Spike is not picked up. Annihilation very close to BCJ's hands. But I'm looking at Paint and that dimensional drift to sell this A rush.
That's gotta come out quick. On top of whatever BCJ is gonna throw at this sonic sensor to try to deter the early push from Jake.
Scanning ahead.
But it will no longer be a sell, it will try to be a push. A Spaz spike in hand will make this a 3 stack onto A main.
Annihilation.
Oh, it's just a push orb. Yeah, give BCJ ult.
Double trips. Plays
wanna
down
have
for the anti-lurk.
such
No
a-
one can grab B orb.
And what's such a ridiculous arsenal for this push.
Yeah, so Yoru ult, backside for B. Annihilation will be the leading factor off of BCJ. Brock has Hunter's Fury available too. This will be an onslaught of ultimates, and YFP recognize that. They
Yes.
are as off-site as they can
They are
be.
keeping their distance, waiting to see if anybody decides to lurk. Don't worry, they're not.
My territory.
Early TP from Jake to get behind, and that will not be heard in the onslaught.
Hello?
Already good to find Spaz. You are early to the party, my man. Physic is now on site as well, able to take care of Pancakes from Market, trying to enter as
30
well.
seconds left.
Jake clears another flank watching Brock and YFP. They'll mow it down again.
Standing.
They have everything they need to make it work. BCJ, another boat household. But this time it's got to be for all 5. That's 5 HP to go. Catches Physic. But there's too much on his plate. And yet again, the crunch
Not ready.
will not suffice. YFP, the bigger fish.
MXS had telegraphed those ults to be that execute factor, but nobody was watching the back lines. Nobody heard Jakey's ult, and yes, he's had a quiet game. I get that. But that just one
He's so back, dude.
one YFP the round kept them in this first map, and sometimes that's just the mental buff that you need to keep snowballing rounds. MXS have not found a consistent answer yet. They're gonna attempt to go for a split B here.
Revealing area.
This time though, op set up by Penny. Again, no flashes available.
Revealing area.
Oh, Penny.
3-on-1.
How does he get out of there? He's still running. They're still going to try and chase this down. This is the only lead they have. Payne's got to stick to this. What was his stinger? 12 HP, such a far sight line. Another miss, but it doesn't matter. The whole gang's here. Brock will kill his own teammate with the shock dart. And will actually get rid of Stellar too, but that's all MXS will do this round, unfortunately.
Timeout.
Yeah,
Timeout
timeout,
needed.
guys. Timeout.
Everyone's got to be on the same plan this round for MXS, and on the big picture, they are. But again, newer teams, not a lot of practice for either one of them. This needs to be the time to really hammer things down. It's scary territory. Always go for that timeout. They have the right ideas, but again, it's small factors such as positioning that are costing them rounds. Had Jakey not gone from the shadows into the far deep flank, MXS would already be on Abyss. And yet, round after round now, they are squandering away the utility usage to take these frontwards fights. With paint on Yoru, there's no reason for Penny to be pushed up so far into mid and still hide in the smoke.
He should not
Getting a
be.
shorty
Yeah,
kill.
he should have absolutely been heat checked once by now. Penny has been getting onto B site for free every single time he has chosen to get on a B site.
And it's unique, right? Because not only is it the comp from MXS, but it's also no one's fault, right? Like it's not fair for us
Yeah.
to put blame on any individual players, but it's really the team as a whole that needs to, tighten up a little bit here. And so I don't think it's a strategic timeout. It's just getting your head back in the game, not tilt off of the shock dart team kill. It happens. It's a matter now of resetting and changing the pace back and understanding how YFP want to play this early game. Back to A we go. There's a fake TP already brought out.
Pancake's far lurk.
Oh, jeez. Penny has that op trained and set up in a very safe spot. One wrong swing and Pancakes is gone.
They know he has this op, but they haven't checked mid. No way Pancakes is going to swing this.
No, he's going to wait for the execute
They're
first
making...
and be that distraction.
There is the execute. Penny's going to hold that. They started making noise, and Pancakes was just like, well, he must be gone by now. No, dude, absolutely not.
That's a slow timings. They needed to wait for MXS to push it as a team before they can go for the late lurk. And now 3 left alive.
Wow, why not?
Timeout. Penny again. Holding each other's angles. The door's not yet broken. All of YFP up above. The fence on ascent is a brutal mistress. And here we are. 5 HP on Spaz. They need 1 round to close it out and win.
Last player standing.
Where's your teammate?
Oh,
No!
man.
Spaz!
That's, tough call. Hey,
No.
Okay.
I don't know if they can grab that. Can
No.
they? Oh,
yeah, I think
no.
so.
That's... What are the chances?
Oh, wait, was it
It's stuck on the top of the wall.
No way! Oh, that's so funny.
There it is, there it is.
Dude,
Oh, no.
that was the play all along. Hey!
Okay.
Well, yeah,
If that
Penny.
was like a pixel inwards, that wouldn't have been retrievable.
Penny's got his swag back. Doesn't need to buy up, which is good because they'd love to have this cushion for 4 rounds deep if they end up losing a lot more on any of these rounds. But so far, that is just simply not been the case. I mean, like, not a weak push, but not a really occupied A site. And Penny obviously didn't leave his post immediately. Pancakes, unfortunate that you're peeking into where Penny's. That sucks. But there was no boost. There was no propulsion behind this push.
But remember, only one set of info from MXS. That's going to be all of Brock's utility.
Oh,
no
that's
knives
2
available.
tags. That is
that's
2
good. That's
tags.
good. Found out, allows Penny to push up.
Oh my God,
He's already
Stellar
good for
just
1.
walks
Penny's going
right
to be
in.
there for the closer. Oh, Penny's forced to back away.
Blocking sight.
And now you're going literally into Fort Knox.
Yeah. Way to keep your distance there.
Good luck getting in the cold.
Oh, Spaz! That's so tough, dude. When Thief is just ready on that call, too.
Yeah, and YFP, very vocal about calling this tournament their last hurrah. And if they're going to continue to ramp up like this, they may have a very long road ahead of them in stage 3. And just talking right now, Brock waiting to see that aggressive push-up once more. I mean, the win condition right now for MXS, right, should be to find Penny and take that fight, challenge the op away, and open up the lane that they were guarding, right?
30 seconds
What are the
left.
chances of having any Cypher util behind a pushed up op in mid, right? But Penny keeps rotating positions. YFP's defense has also been extremely malleable. You don't have a KO locked down to be a flash servant to the opper.
Right.
You have Deadlock and Cypher util that can just trade places at any which time. There's no conditioning for MXS to rely on.
Yeah.
The same issue that YFP themselves had on the attack and only gained 1 round.
Yeah. The double universal util compiled with the fact that
Sound
Paint
sensor up.
can essentially be on 2 sides at once
Cage triggered.
made MXS's attack or defense very, very deadly.
I mean, that's what you
But
gotta do,
YFP,
right?
genuinely, Penny has just been able to sit in 1 peak, get his, and then go back to the pack, and it has the same impact.
You're completely right. And it should be Paint to disrupt these positions with either the clone or a TP or some risk play. And I like what Paint's doing here. He's waiting on the rotates. He's pushed so deep in, it's so risky. But remember, again, these micro timings! No way, Penny! That's a whole $1. A minute left on the clock now.
Right
And
here.
again, yes, this is a broken buy, but now YFP entering the realm of double digits. There is no wiggle room for Moist Shopify anymore.
There will only be 1 more round MXS can fully commit
Spike
to.
down A.
And whatever damage Spaz does here doesn't make a dent.
All eyes have to be on Paint this round.
Yeah, what
don't
the hell is he gonna do?
But I mean, I like the idea from last round, playing so far deep, but Penny just has, he's reached enlightenment. He has his 3rd eye open, it feels like. The
really,
updraft
yeah.
into the shorty, watching that corner on Paint was so unbelievably unlucky there. His awareness has been so good. And you know, that could be just like an anti-scrim play, having played against this Yoru that Paint's bringing out before, knowing his tendencies. And so Moist, for the 2nd time this half, bring out a timeout to figure out how they can close it out. This is their last rifle round.
You have, I mean, you have 3 ultimates. I feel like you have to just use BCJ's ult and just push A main, which
Well,
They're
I would
unsure.
agree
The
with
thing
you.
is, right now they're unsure of if somebody is going to be peeking A main, if it's going to be Jake, or if they think Penny will go for an off angle because he has knives now.
I mean, YFP have not been a team to push aggressively, really. They've waited at least 20 seconds. And that might not seem like a lot of time, but it can matter a lot in terms of the beats of a round. And YFP have a ton of ults on their own disposal, too. They can retake with Stellar and Thief's ult so quickly. Jakey we already saw with the flank of a Sentry off of his ult.
Going out.
And now Penny's him with frontwards. This is such a good read again from YFP.
Here.
That smoke's gonna make things a problem. Penny just does not care. He is so
Annihilation for annihilation. Both
don't get
not hitting. But Penny's inside. Misses that first shot. Tries to sell the tailwind. He's back in.
Get away!
MXS is going to try and get inside with this, with the help of Paint's Dimensional Drift, chasing Penny down, confirming he's still on that site. But MXS, no, they won't use it to insert instead. They'll use it to get away. Now that so many members of YFP are on A site, ult gone,
Going back to the
tree walled off, back to the absolute dumpster that is B site. And both of the Sentinels are here too. Stellar has a grab net he can just throw down at the entryway as well. MXS walking into a world of hurt. And they'll have to do it with 40 seconds left on the clock. Pancake's hoping to catch a leper in the back.
Spaz has TP. Spaz might be able to TP across.
He could fake this out
just for that.
Yeah, that's why Pancakes is there watching. See if it's fully sold. It certainly isn't. So they'll have to go market as well. A war on two fronts, but 20 seconds left on the clock.
These trips are brutal.
Dude, they might have to back up and save. Okay, they have to exec now. This is their one moment. One chance, and they have to check everything so quick they can't check these. But VCJ turns on him before he gets the kill. Line up on the lane, and it's a good trade. 9 seconds to go. Jake's still on site. Good for one. Spaz trades out. Just barely enough time left to plant. Penny's on site. Does he want to fight this by himself? Can't find the opening knife. Has the op back out, but the smoke onto the stairs makes it so much harder to approach. Luckily, Physic is here and can guarantee that Pain is also on site.
Should have recon. Very soon.
Pain already shot it out.
Here.
Oh no.
He just threw it. Penny the swing on the op. I don't know how many knives he has left. He has a couple left. There's the swing back down. Physic able to spray down Spaz. Pain has to swing up the stairs to find this early, but he can't find Physic. Physic is dancing with him, but Penny can't find the kill on top of it. 1v1 to save YFP yet again, but Pain can hold it down! Moistex Shopify, it takes so damn long, but they're gonna do it. They're gonna take map one. They did it. Hooray!
That was wild.
Oh, yeah,
man.
yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it became very, very scrappy at the very end. But I mean, that's what you have to do when you have a team comp like that. I'm happy it worked out well for Moist, but that went from, what was it, 111 for YFP down to near overtime. That is the Ascent special for you, man.
Yeah, welcome
no matter
back.
what composition you bring. And if that is the tempo setter we have for this series, I can only imagine what Abyss is like. Which, by the way, I can imagine, like the players need to, we need to go and recuperate ourselves too with a small break and get that map set up. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a few minutes.